What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. And I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that thumbs up button. More likes equals more hooligans. Gonna read through a schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we will be getting things started. 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is a little... Whoops. Already throwing the chapstick. It's a little less than an hour from now. President Trump is supposed to be live. It's titled President Trump Addresses House GOP in, I think it's Doral, Florida. I don't know what it is. Somewhere in Florida. President Trump will be live, and we will be covering it. Like I said, a little bit less than an hour. But until then, we'll be starting off with a video titled Sweden board ship seized over Baltic Sea cable breach. It's another incident where a country is being disconnected because of undersea cables. It's weird how often this is happening. I don't know a lot about Sweden or any of this nonsense. I just know that we keep hearing about these underwater cables being cut, and I'm wondering if it's all connected. Then we got follow-up video titled Jeju Air Crash. South Korea probe finds signs of bird strike. And they find a bunch of other weird stuff about the incident and whatnot. They also talk about how everybody is pointing out why was there a cement wall at the end of the runway. They bring that up in that video as well. Then we got an interesting tech video. It's titled What is Deep Seek and how is it used inside China's groundbreaking AI service. Now apparently DeepSeek is supposed to be a direct competitor to ChatGPT, which we all know about because we cover it and we see it everywhere and it's constantly being talked about. But I guess this DeepSeek is like I said, a direct competitor, but it's from the CCP. What's really interesting is that it is open source. So that means that Americans are going to be getting this DeepSeek AI system to mess with it on their own computers. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It supposedly is going to be separate from CCP servers if you use the open source version, but it's very weird talking about CCP AI. I wonder if the government will care about that, or is it only TikTok that they seem to care about? Then we got a Pete Hegseth video titled Pete Hegseth Answers Questions at Pentagon. Trump's orders will be executed. Then we got video of an interesting video. It's titled A Look at Dr. Phil and Tom Homan Carrying Out the Mass Deportations. I don't know why Dr. Phil is a part of this, but he is. He's hanging out with Tom Homan and they're out here kicking out illegals. Then we got video titled President Trump Fires Over a Dozen Inspector Generals. Now, I don't know what an inspector general is, but man, Blue Team is all kinds of pissed off that he has fired these individuals. Maybe we'll Google what an inspector general is in a little bit, because I really don't know what it is, but man, they seem outraged. Then we got video titled Trump to sign orders, including shapeshifter military ban. President Trump is going to ban shapeshifters from being in the military, which sounds like a good idea. We need the best of the best up there, not people that can't tell the difference between boys and girls. And then the last little bit of the news we got is titled Trump reinstates service members discharged over vaccines. President Trump is going to have them give them the opportunity to come back, be at the same level rank that they were already at, and they will be entitled to some back pay if they were kicked out of the military because of Old Man Walter's unconstitutional mandates. Then we got two funny videos of the day. First one's titled As Americans We Do As We Please, and then our official funny video of the day is titled Not Tired of Winning Yet. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today. And what is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Alistair? What's up, Jay Spray? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Zero? What's up, Matt? What's up, Damsel? What's up, Astrohammer? And what's up, Tin Man? What's up, Russell? And what's up, Larry? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. What is up, everyone over on Rumble? Sawdog, you were first today. I appreciate you racing in the chat, Sawdog, but I also got that letter from you. Thank you so much for writing me. I'm sorry to hear that the last 4 years haven't been that kind to you, but I'm glad that things are turning around, and thank you so much for the support, Sawdog. I appreciate you. Moving forward here, what's up, Wayward? What's up, Elder Zoomer? Russell, appreciate you being omnipresent. What's up, MU? What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. Make sure we get everybody. What's up, Mr. Satan? What's up, Energy Woman? What's up, Puff and Stuff? What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom to you. Happy No Pants Monday. Is no pants every day, buddy. What's up, C1? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Josh1776? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Hooligans Island? What's up, H Big? Happy freedom. What's up, Libby Racer? Appreciate you being here with us. What's up, Boosted Flames? Happy freedom. What's up, Zupia? Make sure we get everybody. I think we're good to go. Think so. Fitzy, appreciate you sliding through. And what's up, MC? Happy freedom to you. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble. See if you can get us on the front page. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, neighbor guy? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for joining us over here on Kick. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? Holy, we had frames dropping. Why? Why is there always problems? What's up, Matt Rogers? Appreciate you being omnipresent. What's up, neighbor guy? You are also omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Tony Bridge? Happy freedom to you. Let me see here. And what is up, everyone over on the commie platform? Mr. Satan, you were first over here. What's up, Prop Patriot Girly? Matt Rogers, you are truly omnipresent. What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Critical Thinker? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Danny? What's up, Shanti? What's up, Skulls? Happy freedom. Sam, you are on the wrong platform, buddy. But happy freedom to you, Sam. And what's up, Cheeky Chops? What's up, Visions? You guys are welcome. Hit the thumbs up over on the commie platform as well. Let's pull up X really quick. Are we live? We're not live? Do we know? Okay, here we go. Well, what is up, everyone watching over on X? Happy freedom to you. Like I said, we're going to get started into things. We are going to be waiting for President Trump. Well, we're not going to just sit here and wait, but we are awaiting his arrival. A little bit more, like 47 minutes, right? 47th president, 47 minutes, waiting for him to get on stage. Like I said, at 5 p.m. Eastern time, President Trump will be live, or at least we're expecting him to be live, to address the House GOP in, I don't know if this is Doral, somewhere in Florida I ain't never heard of, but either way, President Trump's going to be there, and we are going to cover it. But until he's on stage, we're going to move on to this first video here. Like I said, this is Sweden board ship seized over the Baltic Sea because there's been a cable breach. Again, I don't know a whole lot about this stuff, but I know that we keep hearing about these cable breaches. Never heard of that before, and now it's kind of happening back to back. Thought maybe we should cover it. But before we get into it, I want to remind you, hooligans, we have these MAGA hooligan t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in the chat for you hooligans to have the opportunity to be able to hire Alistair for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, dog tags, and I even made cooking aprons out of this design. I will also be posting the link for the merch store as we're watching this first video.
Sweden's authorities have seized a ship in connection with the latest incident of undersea cable damage in the Baltic Sea. That's according to the country's security police on Monday. The cable between Sweden and Latvia was compromised early Sunday, which Latvia said was likely a result of external influence. This damage caused Sweden to launch a sabotage probe and prompted NATO to deploy patrol ships to the area. Marine traffic data showed a Coast Guard vessel escorting the Vesion bulk carrier to Swedish waters. The vessel, part of a Bulgarian shipping company, had passed the fibre optic cable in the early hours of Sunday. The ship's owner said it may have struck the cable after dropping its anchor, but there was no malicious intent. NATO has ramped up its presence in the Baltic Sea after a string of critical cables have been damaged in the wake of Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. The alliance said it will take action against ships suspected of posing a security threat to undersea infrastructure. The Latvian Navy said on Sunday that 3 ships were subject to investigation.
All right, so like I said, I don't know a whole lot about Sweden or really anything that happens overseas. But I know that we keep covering these undersea or underwater cables, whatever, however they're labeled. These underwater cables being severed, disconnecting countries from other countries and from resources that they need. And I think it's weird how often it's happening right now. This is like the 4th or 5th cable we've covered that's been cut. They didn't really say whether it was malicious or not. They kind of thought that it was malicious, but then they turned around and said, well, it could have just been anchors from ships dragging across the ground and severing the cables there. But do you hooligans think that this was done intentional? What the hell was that? Do you think that this was intentional, and do you think that it's connected to any of the other cables that have been cut with these countries overseas and all of that? Because like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it seems really suspicious to me that it's such a coincidence that all of this keeps happening so close to each other. Like I was saying, next up we got a follow-up video titled Jeju Air Crash, South Korea Probe Finds Signs of Bird Strike. This is a follow-up to the worst plane crash ever to happen in South Korea. So many weird things. Of course, they're claiming the bird strike, but they don't know why the black boxes stopped recording. They don't know why they landed the plane without landing gear. They don't know why they didn't put themselves in a position to not smoke that cement wall that it was at the end of the runway. A lot of people asking, why is there a cement wall at the end of the runway? All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this situation with Sweden and these cables being cut. Russell, cutting undersea cables is a serious problem and can disrupt communications in countries. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying. It seems like it's not something that happens every day, so why is so many countries experiencing it right now? Damn. They can look at the cable and tell if something actually cut it or if it was just damaged by accident. Yeah. See, and they never really come out and say that. They just talk about how suspicious it is. Zero, whatever happened with the LNG line that got blown up? Was that Russia's line? I don't know. Everybody was saying it was us, except for Biden. Biden was claiming it was somebody else or something like that, and then they stopped talking about it. For whatever reason, because they don't want us to know. Thank you so much, Trapper, for that $5 donation over on Rumble. I appreciate you, Trapper. Thank you so much. Says, enduring this BS for 4 to 5 years has turned me gray. All I see is the same slow kill program and AI taking over. Yeah, Trapper, well, I know how you feel. I have to sit here and I probably watch 5 times the content that we actually show because I have to dig through all the videos to figure out what makes it on the schedule. And it's easy to get stuck in that rut, to feel like it's the same shit every day. It's always bad. It always will be. But that's why you got to go out there and you got to worry about living and not worried about dying. You got to recharge those batteries, do something fun, even if it costs a little bit of money or it's a little inconvenient. You got to keep doing things that are fun, things you genuinely enjoy. Otherwise, you get that stuck in a rut feeling the same shit every day. And it's hard to get out of it, but it is worth getting out of. Also, I could suggest some vitamin D. It helps me get out of the rut too. Vitamin D and spending a little bit of me time where it's actually me time. It's necessary. It's good for our mental health. I appreciate you, Trapper. Thank you. Let's see, Trapper, dragging an anchor is not normal either. The anchor gets deployed, not dragged unless you're dragging on purpose. See, maybe they're just trying to downplay it. Maybe they don't want people to think that it's a security threat when it really is. Appeal to Heaven, definitely some kind of cold coming through. Just a FYI, I'm better now. I'm glad you're doing better, Appeal to Heaven. What's up, Rip Curl? Happy freedom to you. Matthew, ain't no sunshine. Thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate the compliment. Pumpkin, you think it's the WEF doing this? It seems very orchestrated that all these countries are experiencing these underwater lines being cut. Like they're so important, but then they're all just getting cut within months of each other. Seems very strange. Hooligans Island, I can't believe Selena Gomez crying for the illegal criminals being gathered up and deported. I saw that, but I don't know who Selena Gomez is. I didn't know she was famous enough for you guys to recognize her, so she didn't make it on the schedule. MU, it's Doral. Thank you, MU, because I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to figure that out. Thank you. What's up, Dual Helix? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, Trapper, man, I know, especially in the wintertime where we can't get no sunlight. I know. What's up here, Juicer? Happy freedom to you. 10 man. Oh yeah, I do that too. Sometimes I get out of routine taking vitamins and stuff, but man, that vitamin D is worth it, especially if you can get the 5,000 IUs or whatever. I take two of the little gummy ones, the little gummies. That way I don't have to drink water, eat food, worry about the dumb shit. I can just take 2 of them, start the live. do the thing. Life's much better when you got enough vitamin D in you. What's up, Jay Muzu? Happy freedom to you. Let me see here. Scrolling through. Hooligans Island is Justin Bieber's ex-girlfriend. Oh, see, I thought I recognized that name. Selena Gomez. Yeah, I didn't recognize her face with the fit, the lip injections and all the bullshit, earthworm lips and all that. But yeah, she's crying about the illegals. What's up, William? Happy freedom to you. It was Ukraine? Nah, probably. What's up, Cosmic Squirrel? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mike? Happy freedom to you. Danny, you think it was done intentionally for money? I'm thinking so too. Like I said, they're so important, these underwater cables, and then they all just get cut a couple months from each other, and it's just, these getting cut over here, and then they come over here, we'll cut these ones too, and very strange. Very strange. I mean, they had NATO deploy ships because it was such a big deal. What's up, Stoner? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward. Like I said, this next one is a follow-up. It's titled Jeju Air Crash. South Korea probe finds signs of bird strike. Some random interesting things about this whole situation. You can see how graphic that looks right there. It was the worst airplane crash to ever happen in South Korea, and there is so many strange things in this video that is related to the situation. Like I said, this is a follow-up. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
South Korea has released the initial findings of a probe into the crash of a Jeju air flight last month, but mysteries remain. All 175 passengers and 4 of 6 crew were killed in the incident, making it the worst ever air crash on South Korean soil. Now investigators say they have found duck remains in both engines of the Boeing 737-800. They also confirm that the pilots reported a bird strike. But it's still unclear why the plane landed with its wheels up. It's also a mystery why voice and data recorders, the so-called black boxes, both failed just before pilots declared an emergency. At the moment they failed, data showed the plane was still flying. Investigators are also probing the role played by airport structures. After it touched down, the airliner ploughed into an embankment built around navigation equipment at Muan Airport. Critics have said the structure contributed to the high death toll and should not have been located in line with the runway. The International Civil Aviation Organization, a UN agency, requires accident investigators to submit a preliminary report within 30 days. It then encourages them to produce a final report within 12 months. South Korean investigators have promised an all-out effort to determine the full causes of the crash.
Like I said, a lot of strange stuff revolving around the crash there. Why did the black boxes stop recording? Why didn't they put landing gear down before hitting the runway? Why didn't they prepare, so they didn't smoke that brick wall at the end of the runway? Why did they put the brick wall at the end of the runway? Just lots of strange things related to this incident. Like I said, it was the worst airplane crash ever in South Korean history. I don't know if we'll have another follow-up. I doubt they'll tell us the truth about the black boxes and stuff, just, knowing how government rolls, whether it's ours or anybody else's. So like I said, I doubt we'll have another follow-up, but that's probably our 4th or 5th one on that situation there. Next up, we got the CCP's AI. It's titled, What is DeepSeek and How is it Used Inside China's Groundbreaking AI Service? Now, this is supposed to be a direct competitor with ChatGPT that we all hear about here in the U.S. They're like the biggest AI, right next to Grok and all these other ones. ChatGPT, as far as I know, is the top of the food chain. And now there's this DeepSeek, like I said earlier, where it is open source. So that means that Americans, or really anybody, can download this DeepSeek and alter it in their own, however they see fit. And they'll be able to have it exclusively on their computer or whatever system they build, where it's not going to link to the CCP servers. But I feel like that's kind of a smokescreen to kind of water down the name for DeepSeek. I have my own opinions about how all of this is going to go. But either way, CCP trying to create their own AI to compete with us here in the U.S. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about the worst airplane crash to ever happen in South Korea. Russell, bad engineering designs on the airport. Yeah, I think so. They shouldn't have put the big wall at the end there. Zero looked like they were going too fast for the landing. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's why I don't want to be on a plane. I don't like planes. Sam, that's awesome. I'm glad you got to go for a jump already. I bet it was freezing out there. So you're all geared up. That's badass. Okay, Snooks. Zupi, I wonder who was on that plane. Black boxes don't magically stop working. I don't even think it's possible for pilots to manually turn them off. Yeah, Zupia, that's what I've always thought too, is that they're like tamper-proof and all of that. But they said that they actually stopped recording before they even did the call for the bird strike, because they called it over the radio, but they were saying the black boxes stopped recording before the call was even made. So it's very strange. It's very strange. If this wasn't done intentional, I don't know. It almost feels like a terrorist attack, and maybe that's just because of all the shit that we've gone through here in the U.S., but it just seems like having so much stuff go wrong all at the same time, and then the plane crash being so devastating, and then nobody even knows why. The birds did it? I don't know. Matthew, an embankment or a wall? I thought it looked like a wall. Pumpkin, so we'll never know. Yeah, Pumpkin, I'm thinking so. Stoner, there's a TikTok challenge that makes people's lips look ridiculous. Are you talking about where they like suck on a cup or whatever? They put a cup over their face and they suction it and then they pull the cup away and then their lips are all ridiculous. I think I've seen people doing that. Energy Woman must be the chicken flu. Yeah, the damn plane was taken out by the chicken flu. Hooligans Island ducks on strike for their airspace. Well, it could be. It's hard to say. Matthew, planes take out towers. Bird strike? Yeah. Yep. Big old aircrafts. They can't hang when it comes to the chickens. Non-woke, me thinking something is a foul. Yeah. It seems like too much is happening in that story for it to just be coincidence and accidental. I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't fly airplanes, but seems suspicious. Post Malone, happy freedom to you. ICE needs to ramp up them numbers. I agree. I thought the numbers would be higher than they are by now, but I'm glad that they're actually doing their job. I mean, that's nice on its own. What's up, Hickey James? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Sage Pup? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Ron? Cosmic Squirrel, does anyone think RFK will get confirmed or Tulsi? Neither or? I don't know. I don't know what to think about any of it. I think it's really weird that we won the election and then have not heard anything about RFK. Bobby Jr.'s just been MIA. Haven't seen him at all. He didn't speak for any of the inauguration events. Elon spoke like 2 or 3 times. Bobby didn't speak at all. Vivek left, right? He's going to govern Ohio or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. I've seen a lot of talk about Tulsi Gabbard, whether or not she'll get confirmed. President Trump seems pretty confident that they'll get confirmed, so I just assume that they will, but I don't really know how it's all going to go. I think that if Bobby Jr. does not get confirmed, I think there's going to be a lot of pissed off people. Because Bobby had his whole voter base, or whatever you want to call it, had them all vote for President Trump because he didn't want those votes to go to Harris. He knew that he couldn't win, which is why he joined MAGA. But then there was a lot of people on the fence because they wanted to vote for him. So he told his people, hey, you want to vote for me? You got to go out there and vote for Trump. That's how you're going to vote for me. Because otherwise you're just voting for Harris. And so all these people kind of reluctantly went and voted for RFK, even though they voted for President Trump for RFK when they really didn't like Trump. Well, now Trump's doing the thing and they're kind of sitting in the background with, like this, sitting there like that, trying to figure out, Is Bobby going to be a part of this, or is he going to get kicked out and not be a part of shit? And so I think there's a lot of people eyeballing the situation right now, and if he doesn't get confirmed, I think there's going to be a lot of mad people. Now, it doesn't make a difference. We already won the election. But there's going to be people who feel like they were duped, you know, like they were tricked into voting for President Trump, and I don't want people feeling like that. It's hard enough to deal with the damn dumbass Democrats, let alone having half-ass normies feeling like President Trump tricked them, you know. Rock and roll, RFK Jr.'s family is the problem for him. Yeah. His family stands with Harris and all the other really nice people on the blue team. I had to think really hard about what I was going to say because it wasn't going to be nice, but it's not Saturday. I got to watch what I say. What's up, Carnivore? Happy freedom to you. He's all over posting on X. Yeah, posting on X isn't the same thing as being on stage next to President Trump. You know, he might be using his Twitter fingers or whatever, but like I said, these other guys, they're being a part of live events, and for some reason, RFK isn't. Russell, you think RFK will get confirmed? Like I said, President Trump seems pretty confident in it, so I'm just assuming that it's all going to be okay. Rappy, I think they all should be confirmed. I do too. Zupia, Bobby still has friends in the Democratic Party. I think he has a better chance than Tulsi, but I think Tulsi will get it too. Yeah, I could see that. MC, nothing is stopping this. They're all getting confirmed. Could be. What's up, Information Warlord? Happy freedom. Energy Woman, RFK came out against the sky. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. The only reason I could see that Bobby ain't getting confirmed is because they don't want his ideas. They don't want him interfering with what the FDA does, interfering with our food, interfering with these government projects that are bad for all of our health. The government, he's basically anti-government, and I don't think that they want his ideas to flourish. Trop, happy freedom to you. They'll get all confirmed one way or the other. Yeah, that's what I'm pretty much thinking too. I'm just assuming that everything's going to go to plan until we have to cover otherwise. Trapper, Kennedy could not have won the election with 100% of the people behind him. Yeah, Trapper, they didn't want him to win. That's why they pulled his name off of, like, he had to fight to get his name on the ballot. Then when he wanted to pull his name off the ballot, they did everywhere except for the swing states because they wanted those votes to basically be duds. And so that's why he went out there and told everyone, like, hey, you're voting for me, that means you got to go vote for Trump. And there's still people that voted for him, even though those votes basically went to nothing. But, you know, people are people. Alistair, Vivek is going to take the seat that Vance vacated. Yeah, Alistair, that's what I think is going to happen too. Originally, they were talking about it like he's abandoning the party. The party wanted to kick Vivek out. There was people saying that MAGA staffers were claiming that Vivek had overstayed his welcome and all this stuff. But it kind of just seems like he's just going to run for governor because it's an opportunity that he can run for now instead of waiting and just sit next to Elon, being in Elon's shadow. So I don't really know if there's a falling out there or if Vivek's just going to work. You know, it's hard to say. So Proud Patriot Girly, happy freedom, and thank you for joining us over here on Rumble. What's up, Donna Hansen? Happy freedom to you. What's up, TPP? Happy freedom. Carnivore, yeah, I think he's just laying low with the files and getting ready. It could be. Maybe he's just trying to be quiet until the confirmation, because if he goes out there and something happens, right, some publicity just takes off, kind of like Elon's salute there, it'll make his confirmation that much more difficult because they already think he's got worm brain and everything else. So maybe he is sitting in the background to not give them an opportunity to cut into him any more than they're already going to. They were all bitching about Kash Patel to Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, and all these other people. God only knows the things that they're going to hold against Bobby. You know, he's a very controversial person, so we'll see. Maybe he's laying low just for those reasons. What's up, Cassie J? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans. Like I said, we're going to move forward. This next one is CCP AI. It's titled, What is DeepSeek and How is it Used Inside China's Groundbreaking AI Service? Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick. If you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Whew, I got the hiccups. Sorry. Hiccup right into the microphone like a piece of shit. That's me. That's all right. We're going to go ahead and get into this. Like I said, this is CCP AI. We're going to use all the acronyms. Nah, I'm not doing that because then you'll think you'll have to throw me a pride parade. Anyways, once again, this is titled, What is DeepSeek and How is it Used Inside China's Groundbreaking AI Service? Hit that thumbs up button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get this rolling.
One Chinese startup just launched a new AI model to rival OpenAI, and it is called DeepSeek. It's raising questions about US dominance in artificial intelligence. Madison Allwood's been looking at this. First of all, what exactly does DeepSeek do?
Yeah, absolutely, Stu. So it's an AI model and has a corresponding chatbot like ChatGPT of OpenAI, and it has significantly narrowed the gap between the US and China when it comes to artificial intelligence. DeepSeek is the brainchild of a small group of researchers working for a Chinese hedge fund manager that have been able to produce technology that is on par with OpenAI and Google, even though those companies are sinking billions of dollars and years into development. Meanwhile, DeepSeek did it for cheaper in a couple of months with fewer chips. So on January 20th, DeepSeek introduced R1. This is an AI model that reasons, so it can do complex problem solving. It thinks through the problem, essentially. Silicon Valley advisor to President Trump, Mark Andreessen, said, quote, DeepSeek R1 is one of the most amazing and impressive breakthroughs I've ever seen. It's also open source. DeepSeek said training one of its latest models costs just $5.6 million. Compare that to the $100 million that Anthropic used last year. As a result, tech stocks dipping today. You see them all in the red there. DeepSeek's AI model has raised serious questions about American dominance in the space. It has rattled chip stocks because DeepSeek claims to have used just around 2,000 NVIDIA chips to train its V3 model. Compare that to the tens of thousands of chips used for U.S. models. But there are also questions around whether China is underreporting how much money and how much computing power they're using. Skepticism from Elon Musk as well. He says that there's no way they're able to do it with this amount of chips. DeepSeek's latest flagship model, V3, also won't answer political questions about China or Xi Jinping. And this is likely a similar setup to TikTok, right? When we talk about that issue. The concern there is that information used is sent to their servers in China. But this is an important distinction that I want to get to. Because DeepSeek is open source, essentially it means that developers in the US can use the code and programming locally on their computers if they have enough computing power. So that means that you can run it here without this concern of American data being sent to China. So the biggest concern is the eroding American share of the AI market. We are unseating US dominance in the space. And I think we saw quickly a full screen. It's risen in the charts in terms of US use, so much so that people are having issues accessing DeepSeek today because of how many downloads it has.
It's like a pivotal moment, isn't it?
Incredibly, there you have it. Incredibly pivotal. We are so far ahead of China before this news that we were just miles, and now we're not. And then there's, as you've been mentioning throughout the morning, the concerns around how much money does this actually take? Yeah. Because we've been investing so much money, infrastructure, power, and China, DeepSeek, is claiming that they've really slashed that. So how does that work?
It's fascinating. I don't know how it works. I really don't know how it works. Good stuff, though.
Okay, so that's the CCP's AI there, DeepSeek. Now, I was on their website, and as they were describing it, you can see on the top there, it says, due to large-scale malicious attacks on DeepSeek service, registration may be busy. Please wait and try. Registered users may log in normally. Thank you for understanding and your support. Now, on the news that we just covered, they said that it's because there's so many registrations that it's hard to access the platform, but according to them, they're being attacked. They're getting DDoS attacks. It also seems that like the pricing is very weird. So if you want an account, they show you this, right? And it says free access, but it's not. It talks about tokens, input price. They charge you 14/10 of a cent. Depending on how you use the service, output price 28 cents. Then it talks about tokens, so you'd have to understand how tokens work and all this other crap. Apparently it's not free. Either way, it's very interesting. But is the government going to say anything about it? Is the government going to be all bent out of shape about it? Because they care so much about TikTok, they're going to care about AI and Americans using DeepSeek and then potentially training the AI, because it's going to interact with all of your input. But most AI systems, they use that input when you're talking to it as a part of their learning. So is our government going to care that we're part of the learning process for CCP AI? I wonder if they'll say anything about this. Either way, they're trying to make claims that this is affecting the stock of Nvidia and Microsoft and other companies here in the US that are developing AI, but I don't really think so. I mean, it's going to be an on competition. It's just going to be how it is. Maybe we'll hear about Canada's AI next. I don't know, eh? We'll see. We'll see. Either way, next up, Pete Hegseth answers questions at the Pentagon, saying Trump's orders will be executed. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about the CCP's AI. Alistair, in-house AI not connected to the net is the way to go. Just takes a lot of processing power to do it well. Yeah, and I wonder what people are going to turn this DeepSeek into here in the U.S. There's a lot of companies that go and do that stuff, even like live streaming software. Like OBS is like the original live streaming software, but Streamlabs is constantly going to court because OBS is open source. So Streamlabs just basically took OBS, put a new skin on it, and started selling it. And so they're always going to court, but that's the thing with the open source is you could take it and change it. So I wonder if they're going to take this DeepSeek and create like an Americanized version of it, because according to their website, which is probably got a little bluffing on it, supposedly DeepSeek is better than all those other platforms. They have this whole graph trying to explain how it's better at coding and communication and problem solving and so on and so forth. DeepSeek, according to them, is the best AI that's out right now. If that's the case and it's open source, then that means Americans will take it and they'll probably make it even better. But again, does the government care about this? Does the government care about, the CCP's AI, or is it just TikTok? They only care about TikTok. Zero, I don't have a way to do that. It's two different platforms. Snooks, DeepSeek is showing it's a free download. No, it's showing that you can access it for free. The language matters on this stuff. A lot of websites right now will say register for a free account. That's not the same thing as using the service for free. It's tricky language. That's what it is. But no, it's not free. I just showed the price point on the live in front of everybody. Appeal to heaven. I have a feeling a lot of overseas trading will be cut soon. Do you think because of the tariffs or because of other reasons? Energy Woman, Oracle got caught spying We the People decades ago, and now he's standing there in the White House wanting to inject you with poison. Do not trust Ellison, Altman, or the handler. Oh, you're talking about the AI people that were up there? Yeah, there's a lot of people that do not like those AI people that President Trump brought to the first press briefing that he did there. Pretty much every single one of those guys. There's a ton of people saying, no, those people are bad guys. Pumpkin, it's more than likely propaganda. It's from China. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Comes out and says they're just the best of everything. They requires less resources than anybody else's AI. Even Elon saying, nah, it's not possible to do what they're doing with so little resources. What's up, Too Old to Care? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom to you if I didn't get y'all ready. Trapper, fuck AI. Yeah. Energy Woman, tricky language from the tricksters. That's right. That's what they do. We were talking about that in the voice chat Friday. Sales. Doing sales just means you have to be good at tricking people. That's basically what sales are. You got to trick people into spending money, to handing you cash. And the best salesmen are the ones that are the slimiest. And you got to be willing to like not have morals and stuff to be really good at sales. Like I said, we were talking about it in the voice chat on Friday. Hair Juicer, I was able to get Grok to violate its own rules. It's fun. Hair Juicer, you're going to tell me how you did that. I use Grok every once in a while, but normally I'm just trying to get it to generate stupid images. Yeah, Ted Man. Well, AI is a constantly evolving thing. A year from now, the way people will talk about it will be very different than how it is right now. It's like the early stages of social media, or they're just the early stages of computers in general. That's where we are right now. It's almost like reinventing the computer. And so there's a lot of opportunity to make money, which is why I pay so much attention to it. But then there's other people like Alistair, where they're technologically advanced and they can comprehend the stuff. Therefore, they can work with it. They can see purpose in it and use it as an effective tool. When I get near AI, I'm asking it to say dumb shit and tell me a joke, stuff like that. Every time I try to work with AI, it's just like I might as well ask Klaus Daniels to do the coding for me. I'd probably get a better answer. So, don't worry about it, Tin Man. It'll stabilize and it'll become easier to understand once it's better than it is now. Supia, did you know that Grok has asshole mode? No, I have not heard that yet. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom to you. Let me see here. Thank you so much, Southern Eagleman, for continuing the membership program over on Twitch for 7 months. You're officially a hooligan. Now, I appreciate you, Southern Eagleman. Thank you. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Crystal Blue? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Corey Luca? Happy freedom. Corey Luca, Glenn Beck was talking about your Hilo AI. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Corey Luca. I don't know what Hilo AI is. I'll have to see. I think I follow Glenn Beck. Crystal Blue, I think tariffs are good. At the worst, we will learn how to live without so much foreign goods. We could be more independent. Yeah, Crystal Blue, and we'd be better off if we were more independent. Overcloth, Trump got him in a headlock. Yep. At a war of words at this point. What's up, DB? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Live Review? Happy freedom to you. Denied Grok describe a situation, then depict it as censor 2 of its own creations. Dun, I was wondering if that was a thing, because I said something like, generate images of kitties doing the Elon salute, or something like that, and it popped up 4 images, and they started downloading, and then the 4th one had an X on it, or a lock or something, or maybe it was an eye with a cross through it, and I was like, what is that? It generated an image. It couldn't show me. I don't know. And then I couldn't show anybody the pictures because they turned out really racist looking. But anyways, moving forward here. This next video, like I said, is titled Pete Hegseth Answers Questions at the Pentagon, saying Trump's orders will be executed. Now, before we get into this, let me pull up this Trump live really quick because, like I said, President Trump is expected on stage in 9 minutes. Come on, Right Side Broadcasting. I feel like YouTube videos have been taking a million years to load. They just buffer for no damn reason.
Mental pain that.
Anyways, now that it finally loaded, Once again, President Trump is expected on stage in 9 minutes. Now, he will most likely be late, considering I've covered just about every live he's ever done, and he's usually late, which is fine. So either way, I got this pulled up. As soon as President Trump steps on stage, he will take priority, and we will get him on the screen, so don't you worry. If you don't know what I'm talking about, President Trump is expected to address House GOP in Doral, Florida. Like I said, he's expected to be on stage in about 8 minutes. I assume he'll be late, but either way, once he gets on stage, we'll put him on the screen. Until then, we're moving forward on this next video here. Pete Hegseth answers questions at the Pentagon, saying Trump's orders will be executed. All right, hooligans, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the Commie Tube, and let's get this rolling.
Well, it's the first day of work for Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. He has arrived at the Pentagon. He took a few questions. Let's play that for you now.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to serve on behalf of the president, serve on behalf of the country. It's an amazing job, beyond what anyone can fathom. But in talking to the chairman and so many other folks here, we're in capable hands. The warfighters are ready to go. If you see what the president said last week in his executive orders, he's hitting the ground running. He's made it very clear. There's an emergency at the southern border. That the protection of the sovereign territory of the United States is the job of the Defense Department, and the cartels are foreign terrorist organizations. As a result, this Pentagon Snap 2 last week, we helped move forward troops, put in more barriers, and also to ensure mass deportations, support of mass deportations in support of the president's objective. That is something the Defense Department absolutely will continue to do. And today, there are more executive orders coming that we fully support on removing DEI inside the Pentagon, reinstating troops who were pushed out because of COVID mandates, Iron Dome for America. This is happening quickly. And as the Secretary of Defense, it's an honor to salute smartly, as I did as a junior officer and now as the Secretary of Defense, to ensure these orders are complied with rapidly and quickly. Every moment that I'm here, I'm thinking about the guys and gals in Guam, in Germany, in Fort Benning and Fort Bragg, on missile defense sites and aircraft carriers. Our job is lethality and readiness and warfighting. We're going to hold people accountable, and I know the chairman agrees with that. The lawful orders of the President of the United States will be executed inside this Defense Department swiftly and without excuse. We will be no better friend to our allies and no stronger adversary to those who want to test us and try us. So, Mr. Chairman, thanks for welcoming me today. I look forward to serving the troops, the warriors of this department. It's the honor of a lifetime, and we're going to get to work. God bless you all.
What's your wristband?
This right here is Jorge Oliveira. He was killed in Afghanistan. He was asked about what I wear on my wrist every single day. It was a troop I served with, a soldier I served with in Guantanamo Bay when I was a platoon leader. He was killed in Afghanistan, not in my unit, but when I was there. It's these guys that we do this for, those that have given the ultimate sacrifice.
Additional troops to be sent to the border soon?
Whatever is needed at the border will be provided, whether that is through state active duty, Title 32 or Title 10, because we are reorienting. This is a shift. This is not the way business has been done in the past. This is the Defense Department will support the defense of the territorial integrity of the United States of America at the southern border, to include reservists, National Guard, and active duty in compliance with the Constitution, the laws of our land, and the directives of the Commander-in-Chief.
The possibility of invoking the Insurrection Act, yes?
Those will be decisions made by the White House. I look forward to conversations about anything we need to do to ensure we're securing our southern border.
Mr. Secretary, are you going to change military training?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to change military training?
Military training will be focused on the readiness of what our troops in the field need to deter our enemies. More rapid fielding, more rapid opportunity to train as we fight will be something we want our units to do across the spectrum. One more.
Joint Chiefs of Staff and other members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Standing with them right now. Look forward to working with them. Thank you.
And there he is, Secretary of State Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. Secretary of State, of course, is Marco Rubio. So a huge job and a great accomplishment for Pete Hegseth, and congratulations to him and his wife.
All right, Pete Hegseth outside of the Pentagon, telling it like it is, answering questions, not running away while reporters are barking at the back of his head. Man, everybody's so used to that. The reporters, the people covering the news that are not on the ground, as well as all of us, we're so used to not getting any answers. At very best, we would get redirected to a different department of the government that doesn't answer questions, doesn't respond to emails and stuff like that. Pete Hegseth making sure he got everybody's questions answered. President Trump's been doing the same thing. J.D. Vance has been doing the same thing. J.D. Vance was, I think, touring Los Angeles today, I believe it was, seeing all the devastation from the fires and all of that. The Trump administration is kicking ass. Second week since President Trump's been in office, and every day has been exciting to watch. Next up, we got an interesting video titled "A Look at Dr. Phil and Tom Homan Carrying Out Mass Deportation." Like I said, I don't know why Dr. Phil's there. I don't know what it is. I guess I always think it's funny because Dr. Phil's job is kind of like red pilling people, if you think about it. If you've ever seen his show, right, they bring on usually disgruntled teenagers or 20-year-olds that are shitting on their parents. The parents don't know what to do. They all go to Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil tries to red pill the child, right? The 20-year-old or whatever it is. Like, listen, let me tell you how stupid you are, and let's find a way to fix that. And that's kind of his job, is to red pill people in a certain kind of light. And so it's kind of funny to see Dr. Phil and Tom Homan standing next to each other, and then you got a border crosser stuck in the middle who just doesn't know what's going on. Dr. Phil's like, you know you're a piece of shit, right? Trying to make the border crosser understand, like, you ain't supposed to be here, so don't be mad that we're sending you home. Like I said, the video is very entertaining. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Pete Hegseth doing his job. I mean, really, you know, people should be doing their job, but we're so used to the last 4 years of eating shit. It's just nice and refreshing to see people actually doing it. And don't forget, I got President Trump pulled up over here as soon as he steps out on stage, which he is expected in about 1 minute. Now, again, I assume he's going to be late, but as soon as he steps on stage, he's getting priority, and we're putting him on the screen. I don't care if we're halfway through the next video. But either way, we're going to read through the chat right now, see what you hooligans think about Pete Hegseth. Snugs, Vance also went to North Carolina. I'm loving all of this. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was in North Carolina and not in Vegas. I know he was in a devastated area. Let me look it up really quick, because I saw that he was live earlier. Oh, what is VA? Is that Virginia? Right? Yep. Apparently he was in Virginia looking at hurricane devastation, so I was wrong, but either way, still out there doing the thing. 10-man Phil got red pilled politically, in my opinion. Yeah, well, he's been hanging out. He was at the Madison Square Garden rally with President Trump, where Kill Tony got in trouble for telling that joke about Puerto Rico or whatever. Dr. Phil was there for that, so I think you're right. I think Dr. Phil got red pilled. Snooks, you don't like Dr. Phil? Why don't you like Dr. Phil? Russell, no more DEI at work is awesome. Oh, I bet. Snooks, I can't wait for the first press briefing. I can't either, but I'm worried that we're going to either be late or not be able to cover it because they won't tell us when it's happening. It's super annoying. Zero, this is a shift. I agree. It's very different administration. 10-man, what a big difference than listening to KJP. Absolutely. I haven't seen KJP since she was thrown out of the White House. I wonder, what is she up to now? Snooks, I think he's slimy. Why? I've never met anybody who doesn't like Dr. Phil. Why do you think he's slimy? What does he do that's slimy? Wait, we're catch me outside, Phil. Yeah, that's basically what the border crosser says. What's up, Plastic Quack? Happy freedom to you. Guy should have been gone in 2009. I wonder how many crimes he did in 15 plus years. Oh yeah, probably a lot. Totally care. I wonder how Dr. Phil feels about Oprah now. Why? Has he got ties to Oprah? David, happy freedom to you. Dr. Phil is fake. Tried presenting Goose Wayne as legitimate. I don't know what that is. Interesting. You guys must know a lot more about Dr. Phil than I do. Hooligans Island, get him, Dr. Phil. Mm-hmm. MC Hegseth is about to conduct the biggest audit in history of the Pentagon. There's a shitstorm coming. Yeah, but we need it. We got to go through it. Otherwise, we'll just be stuck with this forever. Crappy government. Lying to us, cheating us, killing us. Totally care. Oprah made Dr. Phil famous? How? That's weird. I didn't know that. Yeah, David, I'd be doing that sometimes. Oh, you're talking about KJP, what she's doing now. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Aggravated licking of the carpet. I think you're right. Snugs, Dr. Phil, and Oprah were good friends. Yeah, that's pretty questionable. Russell, sign up for the White House emails. I don't even know how to do that. I'll see about that if they actually will send out I'd like a little bit more than 5 minutes, notification before the White House goes live. I just wish they would fix the White House website. Live review. I saw a YouTube video by the mainstream talking about the possible removal of income tax. It'd be interesting. Hair juicer, Dr. Phil's Bad Kid Ranch had a bunch of how do I say this? Sexual assault scandals and cover up abuse of children. Interesting. Thank you for letting me know, Hair Juicer. I might have to look into that. Josh 1776, you ever see the comedian that dresses up like him on Kill Tony? No, I've never seen the Dr. Phil stuff. I did see where Shane Gillis and all them were dressing up like Trump and Biden and all of that. Shane Gillis cracks me up. I haven't seen the Dr. Phil imitation though. No worries, Snooks. I knew Vance went somewhere today. What's up, Pickle Rick? Happy freedom. Tree Herder, she used to bring him on the show before he had one. Yeah, that makes me question Dr. Phil. If he's close to Oprah, then I wonder what other kind of bad stuff he's done. What's up to Rosa? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mav? Happy freedom to you. Mav, not seeing KJP is a bad thing? No, it's not that it's not a bad thing, but like, if you got this angry little stinky thing willing to bite you, you kind of want to know where it is, It's when you can't hear it and you don't know where it's at, you got to start worrying about things. So I'm just saying. What's up, Jules? Happy freedom. What's up, Shane B? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Teasel? Anyone with Oprah, watch out. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize he was connected to Oprah. That's a scary thing for sure. Snugs, Dr. Phil isn't a real doctor, but a doctor of philosophy. Oh, I'm sure. That's like Jerry Springer. None of the fights on Jerry Springer were ever real. It's faker than WrestleMania, so I don't know. Yeah, I didn't assume that Dr. Phil was actually a doctor. I don't even think Jill Handler is a doctor. I don't think she's a teacher or any of that. It's all on TV. It's all fake. That's all I know. Sarah, you got your passport back today? It's badass. Congratulations. Well, hooligans, we're going to move forward. President Trump is not on stage. He's technically 5 minutes late to his own live, which is okay. I'm late all the time, so I ain't got nothing to say about that. Either way, once again, as soon as he gets on stage, we will give him priority and put him on the screen. But until then, we're going to get into this next video. This next one's titled, A Look at Dr. Phil and Tom Homan Carrying Out the Mass Deportation. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick. If you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat. And like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get this video pulled up. Dr. Phil and Tom Homan trying to give counseling to a border crosser. I think it's a little too late for that. But either way, like I said, I thought this was fairly entertaining. Hit the thumbs up over on Rumble as well as the GoofTube. And let's get into this.
What's your name?
Seda.
Seda what? You have a person that's
Prostitute.
Seda Sam?
Yes.
Where you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where you born?
Thailand.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charged where?
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
You Dr. Phil. You look like Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, you know, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children. And he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really? And never been deported?
Nope.
Huh. Let's take him in and process him, lock him up.
Got it, sir.
All right. Can you get a transport vehicle?
Working on it. Okay.
Well, like I said, Dr. Phil and Tom Homan there carrying out the mass deportations. Again, I don't really know why Dr. Phil's there, but either way, what I think is real entertaining is how they blur the whole back of his head. I don't think that was done intentionally. Somebody, whoever was editing the video, they went ham with the little blurry tool there. Kind of entertaining. The guy recognized Dr. Phil from TV. And Dr. Phil's like, so you're in trouble for sex crimes against children? He's like, not really. What do you mean not really? There ain't no not really to that in response to that question. Like, obviously you're a piece of shit and you'll get whatever's coming to you. At least Tom Homan's out there being serious, doing the thing. Dr. Phil, I think he's just there because the cameras were there, but I'm glad these people are being thrown out of the country. We need less monsters here. Next up, we got President Trump fires over a dozen inspector generals. Like I said, I don't know what an inspector general is, but President Trump firing these people has blue news shaking in their little man pond. Okay, that's what's going on. They're pissed. They're saying it's unconstitutional. They're saying it's unprecedented. And if the blue team hates it, I kind of feel like it's a good thing. Again, I don't know what an inspector general is. I may will Google it after the video and we'll see. Either way, we're going to hop in the chat and I'll go ahead and pull this up so you guys can see. You guys can wait with me, waiting for President Trump. Either way, like I said, we're going to read through the chat, see what you're going to think about Dr. Phil, as well as Tom Homan out here carrying out these mass deportations. Russell, you either abused a kid or you didn't. Yeah, Russell, exactly. He didn't want to answer that question. Russell, that guy's pissed at Trump. Oh, well. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well. He could be mad at Trump over there outside of the wall. Pickle Rick, Chris Hansen back doing Catch a Predator, illegal border crosser style. Yeah. Chris Hansen does he does some sort of podcast or something now. He also does, oh, I can't remember what they're called. I can't remember what they're called. There's a Cameo. He does Cameo videos. There was a hooligan that got us a Cameo. Chris Hansen giving me shit about eating too much Diable sauce. You can't have too much Diable sauce. I don't care what Chris Hansen says. But either way, I think Chris Hansen is fairly entertaining. Information warlord. Adios, pendejo. Mm-hmm. Pickle Rick, put a girl on. Klaus is a boy. That's all I have access to. Pumpkin. And out you go. Don't come back. Well, if he hurt a kid, he should go to prison. But yeah, he needs to be deported for sure. Joel Carey, yeah. I don't think I can say those. I don't think I can say that out loud. I think YouTube and Twitch would have a fit. But yeah, out in Thailand, them girls ain't girls. Pickle Rick, my name is Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots. Mm-hmm. I remember my first time smoking weed. Yes. Anyways. Non-woke Biden should do a ride-along, witness the mess he created. Nah, the Border Patrol on that, they don't want to hear that. You'd be like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Can we stop for ice cream? Border Patrol are like nudging each other. They're like, I think he shit himself again. He's like, I'm not changing him this time. You do it. He's like, nah. They're like, all right, rock, paper, scissors. Who's going to change old man Walter? I don't know. I think they've endured enough of old man Walter's problems. DeRosa, deport Dr. Phil. Where's it going to go? Who's going to take Dr. Phil? Thank you so much, Mav, for the bits over on Twitch. And I appreciate the support. Thank you so much, Mav. Why is everyone talking about Thailand? Did they mention? They must have mentioned that in the video. I didn't notice it, though. Hooligans Island. Dr. Phil was either playing pocket pool or he was checking his chip clip. Yeah, he was feeling a little nervous. He has a nervous twitch, but it's not like everybody else's. He just starts yanking his own chain. Mm-hmm. What's up, Cinderella? Happy freedom to you. Cinderella, have you contacted YouTube to request full reinstatement of your account per EO of J20? No, and I don't even think what President Trump did even affected being censored on the internet. I mean, President Trump has to do away with Section 230, and if he don't, which as far as I know he hasn't, it's either Section 230 or 320. Now I'm getting confused, but I think it's 230. Either way, if President Trump doesn't do away with Section 230, it's not going to affect them censoring us, because Section 230 says that they can remove or alter any kind of content on their platform, and then it literally says word for word, even if it is constitutionally protected. And so they have to do away with Section 230 or they'll be able to keep censoring us. And YouTube doesn't give a shit. I write them on Twitter and stuff. We have DMs. I have DMs with YouTube, and they don't care. They don't give a shit about nothing. Like I said, they've given me a strike for someone carrying camera equipment across the screen, and they gave me a strike for showing guns. And I was like, well, that ain't even a gun. It was a fucking camera. They were like, anyways, enjoy your strike. And that's how it goes. I wish that I could do something to YouTube about pulling down my videos and stuff, but I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. I can apply for remonetization. I've been able to apply for over a year at this point, but I don't want to go back to having to self-censor just so I can pay the bills. I'd rather pull people from YouTube over to Rumble than beg YouTube to allow me to be monetized again. What's up, Roy? Happy freedom to you. Shots fired at the border, Kevin. That really doesn't surprise me. Hopefully everything turns out okay, though. What's up, Plastic Quack? Happy freedom to you. If I can get y'all ready. Josh 1776, Inspector General is like a detective for the federal government. They could cause a big stir if they decided to. That's interesting. Like I said, I didn't know anything about a Inspector General. I don't know what they're for or anything. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Troy? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for joining us over on Kick. I don't know why the internet keeps ducking. I'm gonna have to reset the modem and shit. I'm just trying to get through this live. We keep having like buffering every once in a while, but there's no way to get around it without without shutting everything down, and I don't want to have to go through that. If it becomes a terrible problem, we will, but as of right now, it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. Well, like I've been saying, we're waiting for President Trump. You can see in the background, he is not there yet, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. And once President Trump is on the screen, of course, like I've said a million times now, he will take priority. We will put him on the screen, even if we're in the middle of a video. I assume it won't be much longer, because right now there is like 7 other YouTube channels that are all showing the same thing that Right Side Broadcasting is showing. So I assume it'll be any moment now. President Trump will be on stage. Either way, like I said, we're going to move forward and cover other things until he is. So this next one's titled, President Trump fires over a dozen inspector generals. And like I was saying, Blue Team, they seem pretty upset about this. And we're going to be able to tell because this is CBS News, and they cry just as hard as any other Blue News. Like I said, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the Commie platform, and let's get this rolling.
Over the weekend, President Trump continued his flurry of executive moves. He fired at least 15 inspectors general. They're the independent government watchdogs meant to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. CBS correspondent Weizhou Zhang shows us the controversy over that decision.
Mark Lee Greenblatt served as the Inspector General for the Department of Interior until late Friday night, when President Trump fired him, along with more than a dozen other IGs.
This is absolutely unprecedented. There is nothing that's ever happened remotely like this. Key is that our reports have credibility because we're independent. If all of a sudden, if you remove that independence, so what value does that report have?
California Senator Adam Schiff says Trump broke the law because he did not give Congress the required 30-day notice.
The American people, if we don't have good and independent inspector generals, are going to see the swamp refill.
But Republicans like Senator Lindsey Graham were quick to defend the president.
Get new people. He feels like the government hasn't worked very well for the American people. These watchdog folks did a pretty lousy job.
Just 1 week into his second term, Trump has shut down DEI programs across the government, removed at least 20 State Department officials in leadership roles, and 160 staffers with the National Security Council were sent home while the administration reviews staffing.
What are the guardrails here that could stop President Trump?
And they're essentially challenging Congress to oppose what it is they're doing or to try to stop it, which Congress could do, but which Congress doesn't seem to have any inkling about doing.
Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Miami.
Like I said, Blue Team News real butthurt over President Trump firing these inspector generals. He's also halted these people that were potentially going to be hired from the government. All of that is suspended. People getting sent home left and right. Lots of change happening over on Capitol Hill. And like I said, Blue Team, they seem pretty worried about it. And that kind of leads me to believe that this is potentially a good thing. Either way, next up we have Trump to sign. It just says sign orders. I assume they mean executive orders. But either way, it says Trump to sign orders, including shape-shifting military ban. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. We don't need mentally ill people being out here on the front lines where your life is on the line. You know, they be putting everybody in danger because they can't tell if that wiener belongs to a boy or a girl when it's attached to their own base there. Like I said, President Trump signing out the shapeshifters from the military. Sounds good to me. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see, do you Hooligans think that this is a good idea that President Trump has fired a dozen inspector generals as well as sent others home, federal employees and stuff like that, cleaning up government? Do you think it's a good thing? Then, of course, this is live, what we have in the background there, waiting for President Trump to get on stage. Anytime now. Zero, they were all investigated. I read the EO. Well, they should be. Russell, but Schiff is trying to fill the swamp. Yeah, I thought that was pretty amusing too, Russell, that he's like, this is gonna bring back more swamp. I'm like, is that the swamp talking about the swamp? Oh, I didn't know we were doing that. Matt, maybe they should have did their jobs. Absolutely. Zero BS. He's draining the swamp. Yeah. That's what I think too. Tim, man, you think it's a good thing? It seems like a good thing. Like I said, I'm not educated enough to know the specifics on attorney generals or not attorney general, inspector general. Seems like a good thing though. Josh 1776, it seems like Trump has a mole inside the opposition and is taking away their tools before they use them, and they're trying to take the mole out. Could be eliminating all these people until all of a sudden the leaking stops. Lived review, Schiff saying the swamp is going to fill back up is golden while he still sits there like a twat. Yeah, exactly. Appeal to heaven, obviously Trump is taking out the trash. Seems that way to me too. Tony Rez, I support anything that upsets Adam Shifty Eyes. See, we're all on the same page here. If Blue Team is crying about it, I'm inclined to believe it's a good thing. Pickle Rick, we need more breasts in America. Yeah, you say that until the dudes on the Blue Team show up with fake tits, and then you'll be sorry what you wish for. Leave it to the Blue Team. They mess up the best of things. Pumpkin, make Adam Schiff cry. That's on the menu. Rip Curl, I believe the American people know that big hard changes are needed to fend off the failures of this country, and it isn't as if he didn't say he was going to make hard and fast choices. Yep. Well, we all voted for this. Well, most of us did. The majority voted for it. Pickle Rick, roundhouse. Yeah. Yes. Non-woke, I hear they're hiring on the wall project. Yep. Too bad Democrats are too stupid to swing a hammer and use a screwdriver. Pickle Rick, how do people with big heads and little arms even hold their massive foreheads up? It's because they're all full of hot air. Kevin, it's the cartel shooting at the Border Patrol. Well, hopefully they flame broil their asses. They got the resources. They could go out there and do something to the cartel. They just hadn't, because old man Walter, he was on the same team as the cartel. Now they're all butthurt about it, taking shots at the Border Patrol because they gave the green light on those agents. President Trump in office, Tom Homan doing the thing. I don't know, they need to protect the Border Patrol. I know that. Hair Juicer, did I send you the article where the woman got the jab and her tits grew from a B cup to a triple G in 6 months? Nah, Hair Juicer, I'm going to need you to send me that again. For research purposes, you know. Hooligans Island, have the illegals help build the wall, then deport them. We'd have to pay them, Hooligans Island, otherwise we'd be no better than the Democrats. What's up, Nana? Happy freedom to you. Non-woke, Starbucks is offering free coffee if you have 3 or more pronouns. Nah, I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm not even willing to fake it for coffee. Nah. What's up, Random? Happy freedom to you. Jules, Trump is pulling up in that garbage truck. I think you're right, Jules. Crystal Blue, promises made, promises kept. Absolutely. What's up, Too Real? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Linda? Happy freedom. Yep, good idea. Drain the swamp. Yep. See, it seems like we're all on the same page while Blue Team is screaming and having a hard time coping. Crystal Blue, Starbucks is crappy coffee. See, I don't think I've actually had Starbucks. I've had Big B before, and that stuff is super expensive. Matt, let them shoot. The Marine Corps has been deployed to the border. Yeah, we'll see, and that's what I'm saying. Matt Rogers, like, they're going to be shooting at our agents. Well, they're not going to like the retaliation because that Border Patrol, they got resources and stuff. Nobody's gonna cry for those people when they play videos here in America, the cartel getting blown up. Nobody's gonna be crying for those guys. I don't know why they're asking for all that bad luck. Kevin, oh my god, this RSBN music reminds me of summer watching Trump rallies. You guys can't hear the music, can you? Oh no. Yeah, Kevin, I feel that way too. For a while, Risa Broadcasting was playing old images. Like when they would do the commercials, it would have old images from Trump rallies, and that used to always bring me back. Mary Todd, happy freedom to you. You think Starbucks sucks too? Kevin, did you guys warm up? You're supposed to be getting one soon. What are you talking about? A snowstorm? Let me see. I don't know what you're talking about, Kevin. You just said we're supposed to be getting 1 too, but I don't know what the one thing is I'm getting. It is warmer here. It was like 32 and it's supposed to be almost 40 like twice this week. Looking forward to that. 40 is like Florida weather for us. It's been negative. We've been sub-zero for a while, which is not that normal for where I live. I'm enjoying the nicer weather. My car sucks though. I did something to my brakes. My brakes are all messed up. And I need to take the car in to get looked at, but I just ain't got time or money. It's life. So there's people getting on stage now. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen there. Of course, we'll play President Trump in full screen. We're just doing the thing right now. People happen on stage, so I assume President Trump will be ready any moment now. Stern, happy freedom to you. Starbucks coffee is very bitter to me. I won't drink it. Yeah. I've actually heard this, and I don't know if you hooligans co-sign it or what. If you're drinking coffee and it's bitter, you can put a pinch of salt in it, and it will actually straighten it out. It'll make it so it's not bitter anymore. I've done that for years now at this point. I don't know if I just think it helps because I was told that, or if it actually helps. Give it a try if you've never heard that, and if you have heard it or you know something better, definitely let me know, but I've been hearing that forever. Josh 1776, yes, I was able to try the Pete's coffee, the full bean coffee, and it's fantastic. It's bold flavor and all of that, but I like that. I like coffee that punches. It's badass. Thank you, Joshua. I'm going to try the other coffee later today because I want to try them both, but thank you so much for sending me that. Also, we got an unboxing happening in a little while, but either way, let's listen to what Speaker Johnson's got going on.
Waiting a while, and you've been very patient, and it will be well worth it. My friends, I want to welcome you to Doral International, Trump's fantastic property, and to the new golden age of America. America's back, my friends. That's right. America really is back. We felt it before we left Capitol Hill. There's a new atmosphere, a new change. People are excited, and we feel that around the country. Many of you went home and heard that from your constituents and your family and friends. Something is happening. It's very exciting. America is back. Common sense is back. Strength is back again. That's right. What's happening around the world right now is interesting as well. Our allies and our friends are encouraged again, and our adversaries are nervous. They're on notice. They see what's happening because something has changed. There's a new sheriff in town. And American strength is back, and we have been so excited for that. The country has been waiting upon it. And the reason for that is because our new president is back in the White House, the 47th president of the United States.
Make America great again.
He doesn't need a long introduction, and I won't give you one, but I would just say this. The first week in office was the most momentous of any that anyone can remember, probably of any administration. And he's already accomplished more for the American people than his predecessor did in all 4 years. There's more of that to come. That's right. And as House Republicans and Republicans in the Senate and the House join together, we are going to bring forward the America First agenda. We will be a part of this new renaissance in America, the new golden age, and it begins right now. My friends, my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to introduce to you tonight the 45th and the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Let's hear it.
All right, hooligans. Obviously, President Trump is stepping out on stage right now, so please hit that like button on either GoofTube or on Rumble if you haven't done so already, and grab the link and post it on your social media. That way everyone can hear from the president today. And if you're watching on X right now, please retweet the live, like I said, so everyone can hear from the president.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. I want to thank you all and congratulate you. I mean, this is a very big congratulations to our re-elected House Republican majority on your largest popular vote. Did you know that? Since 1928? That's a long time, Mike, right? That's a long time. But I especially want to thank our outstanding leadership team. Speaker Mike Johnson, we all know so well. He's doing great. Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who's gone through so much, and he looks better today than he did 10 years ago. I don't know what's going on. Thank you very much, Steve. You look great. Majority Whip Tom Emmer. Tom, thank you. Great job. And House Conference Chair Lisa McLean. Lisa, thank you very much. Great job. Thanks as well to all of the incredible House members and staff for your tireless work on behalf of our country, along with Congressional Institute CEO Kelly Strickland. Thank you very much. Thank you. Kelly, thank you very much. So we have Kellyanne Conway. Nobody knows Kellyanne. Does anybody know? Where's Kellyanne? She's around. What? She's so good. She's a good person, too. She's a good person, too. And the mayor of Hialeah, I love this guy because he said, sir, we want to name a major boulevard after you. And he did it. Anybody that names a boulevard after me, I like him a lot. Esteban Bovo and Hialeah, mayor of Hialeah, thank you, wherever you may be. Esteban, where are you? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great honor, actually. A lot of people come back from Hialeah. They say, they just named a road after you. I said, that's okay. It's a beginning, right? It's a start. With the help of everyone in this room, we've just won the most epic, consequential political victory in American history, according to a lot. One of the major fake newspapers, so in this case it's not fake news, let's say, but they said it's the most consequential election victory in the last 129 years. I'm trying to figure out what that means, 120. Who was there 129 years ago? But it was a great one. At the presidential level, we won the popular vote for the first time of any Republican in decades. We swept all 7 swing states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, and Nevada by very, very big margins, record-setting. And for the first time ever, all 50 states, did you know this? Shifted toward the Republican Party. We've never had that before. Nobody has, actually. It's never happened before. That's pretty good. You must be doing a good job, fellas. We won the largest number of African-American voters in Republican history, including 39% of black men, a record by a lot. So that's really nice. Thank you. And we won more Hispanic American votes than any Republican ever. It's never won any, not even close. Look at that, Hispanic American. We made historic strides with youth, men, women, urban, suburban, and rural voters. And in a political earthquake, yeah, sit down, just enjoy it. What the hell, we're going to be here for a little while. But in a political earthquake, we won a wave of support from labor unions, including massive numbers of auto workers, which gave us Michigan as an example. Think of that. We won Michigan easily, and we did tremendous with the auto workers. And an overwhelming majority of the rank and file membership of the Teamsters. The Teamsters were great. They showed up in droves, and we won them by a lot. Together, we're forging a new political majority that's shattering and replacing Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal coalition, which dominated American politics for over 100 years. That's what we're doing. And what Mike said before, common sense. It is a little bit of common sense. Maybe it's a lot of common sense. Under our leadership, the Republican Party has become the proud voice of hardworking American citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. We've become the party of the American dream and wealth creation for everyone, not just the rich. If we do our job over the next 21 months, not only will House Republicans be reelected and expand our majority in 2026, we will cement a national governing coalition that will preserve American freedom for generations to come. There has never been anything like what's happened in politics in the last few years. Never been anything like it. Everybody, people of religion, everybody seems to be with us. I don't know how anybody could even vote for the other side. In many cases, they don't, but they do get credit for it. You'll have to think about that. I've raised a lot of money for the next race that I assume I can't use for myself, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to run again. I'm not sure. Am I allowed to run again, Mike? I better not get you involved in that argument. No, we raised a lot of money, a tremendous amount, and our teletown halls are something that's very special that nobody else is able to even contemplate using. We've gotten a lot of people elected with those teletown halls. We have 25,000, 30,000 people on just in a congressional area, and they win easy. It works for Elvis, the Beatles, and it doesn't work for anyone else, but it works for Trump. And we would have tremendous crowds on those calls, and I think I'll bet we got 35, 40 people elected because of the town halls. But I did say to them, and I said, this is the greatest, the person that sort of has the rights to it, and he happens to be a great Republican. I said, this is the greatest invention. This thing is going to make a fortune. He said, no, it's not that good, actually, because it only works for you. He said, actually, sir, it only works for you because somebody else they're not picking up. So I'm honored to have that privilege, and I used it carefully. But we've done a lot of the teletown halls for people, and I don't think we've ever lost one, right? It's hard to lose one, even if you only get 5,000 or 6,000 people on a congressional race. But we've done them for states, we've done them for governors, and we've done them for senators. And we did a couple countrywide. I did a couple for myself countrywide. They're absolutely amazing. And we got the message out through that and lots of other means. We even got it out through TikTok. Has anyone ever heard of TikTok? I have a little bias toward TikTok right now, I have to tell you. So we won youth by the largest margin. No Republican, we generally don't win youth. We won by 36 points. Can you imagine that? And I think TikTok had something to do. So pardon me if I'm a little bit, I became a little bit jaded toward TikTok, but we'll see what happens. We're going to have a lot of people bidding on it. And if we can save all that voice and all the jobs, and China won't be involved. You don't want China involved, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But over the past 7 days, my administration has been moving with urgency and historic speed to reverse every single disaster of the Biden administration. By the way, the guy was a disaster, okay? We want to be nice, and he's probably not listening right now because it's a little late, but I don't want him to listen. I don't want to say it. I feel badly. I was, making the inauguration speech, and I'm saying all the bad things, and he's sitting like right here. You know, I'm saying they were a horrible administration. They didn't know what they were doing. They were grossly incompetent. I got a guy sitting right next to me. It's not that easy to do, even though he didn't understand what I was saying. He really did. And deliver on the mandate that we've been given by the American people. In a single week, I've taken over 350 executive actions. We've signed 300, and who ever heard of that one? And as I said in my inaugural address, the American decline is over. It's over. The golden age of America has officially begun, and I think that's a good thing for us to talk about, the golden age and the American dream. I think it's a good thing because people haven't been talking that way for a long period of time. On day one, I directed every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and bring down the cost of daily life, and we're going to do that. You're going to see it starting to happen when we get going with the energy. The energy is going to, brought everything up, and it's going to bring everything down. I imposed a federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, a foreign aid freeze. A foreign aid freeze, isn't that nice? We get tired of giving massive amounts of money to countries that hate us, don't we? And I created the new Department of Government Efficiency, and I think it's going to be very meaningful. I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Scam, one of the great scams in history. Actually, isn't it 12 years up? They gave us 12 years to live, right? I think that we passed it, right? We're still around. Can you believe it? You know, the person that really came up with it is a person that never even took a course on the environment, was a poor student, not a good student, didn't understand a lot, and she came up with this idea, and everybody all of a sudden started going. And then mainstream, important Democrat leaders were starting, they got sucked into it. And we've spent trillions of dollars on just like throwing it out the window. You could throw it out the window, you would have been better off. I withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord, and I canceled. It was so one-sided, we had obligations, but Russia didn't, China didn't, other countries didn't. We paid everything. We're going to lose $1 trillion over a short period of time on that. And we had to do everything. They didn't have to do anything. It was ridiculous. And I canceled the insane and very costly electric vehicle mandate. So you can buy a car of your choice. If you like gasoline, go have it. And if you like hybrids are doing well. You can have it, or you can buy an electric car. We like electric. We like everything, but you have to have a right to buy everything. I withdrew from the World Health Organization, where we paid $500 million a year, and China paid just $39 million a year, despite a much larger population. How about that? So we're paying $500 million a year. China's paying $39 million a year. They have 1.4 billion people. We have, nobody knows what we have. So many people came across the border. Nobody has any idea. I used to say like 325, but we really don't know. But we're going to know soon. We're going to know. And I tell you, our people are doing a fun. Tom Homan and his staff are doing an incredible job getting the bad ones out. I declared a national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold that's right under our feet, because we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. It's going to bring down prices. And your energy costs are going to go way down, and that'll happen, I think, relatively quickly. I'm going to give fast environmental approval for anybody building a plant for electric generation, and anybody that invests more than $1 billion will get super rapid approval. Not that they have to wait for 9 years, 14 years, like I approved LNG plants in Louisiana. They were waiting for so many years. It wasn't Louisiana's fault. It was some people, they just wouldn't get them done. You've got a snail here, a tiny tree here, and I got it done in a matter of a few days. I actually got it done. It took them 14 years. I got it done in about 3 days. The people, as we called them, I'll never forget, I called them and I said, congratulations, you got your permit. What? They were so shell-shocked. They didn't know what the hell was happening. They're going to spend, and they spent about $16 billion on each plant, and they've been roaring since then. But we got them done in a matter of a few days. Over the past week, we've begun the largest deregulation campaign in history, far exceeding even the record-setting efforts in my first term. That was record-setting deregulation, and that was just as big as tax cuts as far as business and jobs were concerned, I'll tell you. I actually asked, It's interesting because I actually asked some of the biggest businessmen in the country, I said, let me ask you, have you had the choice between the big tax cuts? You know, we cut it from 40% to 21%. We're going to cut it further. But we cut it down to 20. Everybody said that would be impossible. The people on the stage helped us with that one a lot. But I said, if you had your choice of that or the big deregulation cuts, what would you take? These are the guys that run the big companies, the big oil companies, the big companies of every kind. I said, would you take the big tax cut or the big cut in regulations? And I've never had anybody said they'll take the tax cut. They took the regulation cut. I'll bet I asked that question 100 times to 100 of the biggest people. They always said, sir, we'll take the regulation cut. You opened us up. You let us create all these jobs that we've all seen happen. So it was even bigger than the big tax cut. I also signed an order to end the weaponization of our government against the American people and investigate all abuses of power. And I stopped government censorship once and for all, and we brought back free speech to America. That's what happened. We're going to bring it back. Because we didn't have free speech. We didn't have free speech. I mean, I was investigated more than any human being in history. Alphonse Capone was a baby. Now, this was a serious killer, Scarface. You've all heard of Scarface. He had a scar for a reason. He didn't play games, but he was Scarface. Of course, nobody ever called him Scarface to his face. They said, Al, you look great today. Guy had a scar that was like 2 inches thick that ran from here to here. And they say, Al, you look fantastic. But Scarface was not investigated as much as your president was investigated. And it turned out to be a positive thing for me. Can you believe it? It turned out to be, we got a lot of votes. I think we got a lot of votes because they saw it was weaponization. It was a fight against a political opponent. I ordered the end to all of the lawless diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense policies across the government and all across the private sector and the military. We got it. We're getting it out, and we've gotten it out pretty much. We did that in 1 week, and it wasn't that easy, but everybody wanted it. People that were strongly in favor of it, I thought, called me and said, thank God you got rid of that. That was so bad. It was so bad. We hated it. We abolished 60 years of prejudice and hatred with the signing of one order, all approved by the Supreme Court of the United States. It was a big thing, and the United States has become a meritocracy again. We are a country that's based now on merit for success. Merit. If you're good at what you do, you're going to go places. I made it and who would have thought that was going to happen? We didn't even talk about that one because I figured that one was going to be toughest to get. And so we are now, if you do a meritorious job, if you do something where you're just outstanding, you advance, and that's what it's about. It's about competition, and it's about a lot of things, and the other becomes a very dangerous plateau. We were on that plateau too long, and it's one of the reasons that you saw very bad things happening with our country. I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders, male and female. Gee, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. Some of these people say like 7 genders. I'm trying to say, go and name them. They got some weird stuff going on. No, they have 2 genders. I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, and we are restoring the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley in Alaska in honor of the incredible people of the state of Ohio who loved their governor and loved the man that became president. He was the big tariff sheriff, they used to call him, and made a lot of money. Our country became very rich, and when he was assassinated, Teddy Roosevelt became president, and he spent all of that money that was made from tariffs. The money was so enormous, and they built the thing called the Panama Canal. You might have read about this lately. It's become a hot subject because China essentially has taken it over, and we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. It was the biggest investment to this day ever made by the country. In other words, if you bring it up to modern day numbers, we spent money that we've never spent anything so much. We've never had so many people die. 38,000 people died building the Panama Canal 110 years ago. And they gave it away for $1. It's also one of the most profitable things ever built. You know, these ships are lined up back to Florida, trying to get through. We're not gonna let that happen. Wasn't the deal. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, sort of, I guess. But they haven't behaved properly. Perhaps most importantly, I declared a national emergency to stop the invasion of our southern border. We're going to stop that invasion. We've already done it. And today in Tijuana, you probably saw, I got a call from Tom Homan and some of the people. They said, sir, it's unbelievable. There is nobody. You have this huge area. It's a gathering area. It's always been packed with these people. What they did to our country is so unbelievable. That they could do this to our country is so horrible. But he said there's nobody there. And then they actually put it on television. I got to see it. And there was literally not one person, this vast area where people stay there all day long and they just walk right into our country. They just unchecked, no way, no check-in for IDs like voter ID. They don't want voter ID because they want to cheat. They wanted these people to come in because they want to cheat too. But who could allow this to happen? But there wasn't one person standing in this massive, an area that's like 5 football fields, that was packed for years under these horrible people that wanted to kill our country. We halted all illegal entry. We have successfully ended catch and release, and we're deporting 100% of all new trespassers apprehended at the border, and nobody's coming in, and nobody's coming now because they know they're not going to be able to come in. So we've really stopped something that was very, very serious. But we have to get the bad ones out. We have many murderers, many very bad people in our country that they've allowed because of a ridiculous, actually stupid, open border policy. I've also deployed troops to the border, and for the first time in history, we're locating and loading illegal aliens into military aircraft and flying them back to the places from which they came. And very importantly, America is respected again. We're respected again. Isn't that nice? You know, after years of laughing at us like we're stupid people. And as you saw yesterday, we've made it clear to every country that they will be taking back our people that we're sending out, the criminals, the illegal aliens coming from their countries. We're taking them back, and they're going to take them back fast. And if they don't, they'll pay a very high economic price, and we're going to immediately install massive tariffs. It'll be placed on them and other sanctions, but the tariffs, I told you, most beautiful word in the dictionary. I also told you that I said that the first time, and I got just absolutely decimated by the fake news, you know. I said it's the most beautiful word, and the fake news said, what about religion? What about God? What about love? So now I say it's the 4th most favorite word in the dictionary. It's God, love, it's all these other things, but I say number 4, but God, love, religion, tariff, 4th. Another couple of weeks, it'll be like 10. Hopefully it's going to stay in the top 10, but the fake news went after me, Tom, because I didn't say the first 3. And now now that I say it, immediately say it. I'm sure they're going to find some others. Throughout the week, the heroes of ICE have been hunting down and arresting hundreds of illegal alien criminals per day, including those with charges and convictions for rape, child sexual assault, terrorism, and even murder. Many murders in the crowd, and many of these murderers have committed far more than one murder. This is not going to work out, and we're going to get them the hell out of here. And members of the savage Venezuelan prison gang known as Tren de Agua and MS-13, including 50 violent individuals who were rounded up in Aurora, Colorado, which the Venezuelan gang took over. The governor, who's a radical left governor, was petrified. He didn't know what to do. He said, no, it's not that bad. They've only taken over a couple of apartment houses. See, they went into the real estate business. They did it unconventionally. They did it with guns. We have to go out and borrow or use cash to buy. They just did it with guns. They took over. He said, no, it's not that bad. They only took over a couple of buildings. We're tracking down the illegal alien criminals. We're detaining them, and we are throwing them the hell out of our country. We have no apologies, and we're moving forward very fast. They're very dangerous people. They're very dangerous people. They're violent people. I used to say these are more violent than our criminals. In fact, the best part about them is they make our criminals look quite nice, actually, by comparison. They are very violent people. We also have many violent criminals in our country, however, that did not necessarily come here illegally, but have been arrested 30 times, 35 times, 41, 42 times in a couple of cases, 25 times, 18 times, many for murder and other heinous charges such as pushing people into subways. As the train's coming along at 45 miles an hour, boom, you get pushed into the subway. They had it last week. Hitting them in the head with baseball bats while they're not looking, punching old ladies in the face, knocking them unconscious and stealing their purse. They even break into apartments and rape elderly women and beat up elderly men, beat them to hell. And I don't want these violent repeat offenders in our country any more than I want illegal aliens from other countries who misbehave. And I say, and this is subject to getting it approved, but if they've been arrested many, many times, they're repeat offenders by many numbers, I want them out of our country. I also will be seeking permission to do so. We're going to get approval, hopefully, to get them the hell out of our country along with others. Let them be brought to a foreign land and maintained by others for a very small fee as opposed to be maintained in our jails for massive amounts of money, including the private prison companies that charge us a fortune. Now, let them be brought out of our country and let them live there for a while. Let's see how they like it. You'll see crime all over the country dry up. Essentially, that's what Venezuela and other countries are doing. They're getting rid of their criminals and putting them into the United States of America. And their crime is down by almost 80%. We're going to restore law and order in America, and we want to bring back the death penalty for these horrible people that kill people. They kill people. It's always a tough thing to say because I don't like it. Nobody likes it. But if you don't do it, we're just looking for trouble. I spent a lot of time with President Xi, and I'll never forget in my first meeting, I said, do you have a drug problem? No, we have no drug problem. Why is that? A quick trial. What is quick trial? Quick trial is we try the person that sells the drugs immediately, and at the end of the day, we execute that person if that person is guilty. We have no drug problem whatsoever, and that's the most severe case. But wherever you have no drug problem, you have the death penalty. So, and drugs causes a lot of the crime. A lot of the crime in our country is caused by drugs. It's a terrible situation. Comes through the southern border. Most of it is fentanyl coming in from China. And, you know, it's very interesting. China, when I was with President Xi, I had a deal worked out with him that they were going to give their maximum punishment, which is the death penalty, to anybody making fentanyl and sending it into the United States. Then we had a very unusual result in an election. We had a rigged election. We had a very unusual result, and that went nowhere. It was all set to be, he would have absolutely done it. He was ready. We shook hands on it, and then Biden, of course, didn't follow it up. He didn't follow anything up. But if that would have happened, you would have had a lot less fentanyl deaths, I can tell you. You would have had very little fentanyl coming into the southern border. Last week, I also signed an order that will designate the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. That's a very big designation. And as we are fighting hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens, that's another way. It's automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. That's the other term that they use, which is actually more accurate, more understandable. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is when it happened. The children of slaves, it was not meant for everyone to come into our country by airplane or charging across the borders from all over the world and think they're going to become citizens. It's not meant for that. It wasn't meant for that. And hopefully at some point the courts will understand that without having to go through a whole big deal. This was meant for the children of slaves. And look at the timing of it, and you'll see. And I hope judges will understand that. And it has to stop because it's really hurting our country very badly. In the coming weeks, I'm looking forward to working with Congress on a reconciliation bill that financially takes care of our plans to totally and permanently restore the sovereign borders of the United States once and for all. This should include full funding for a record increase in border security personnel and retention bonuses for ICE and Border Patrol. These people are incredible people. I got to know them so well. I was on the phone with them all the time when I was president. When she was the border czar, she never called them. Remember, we went like 4 years and they started asking her, did you ever speak to him? No. We asked the Border Patrol, did you ever speak to the head of the Border Patrol? Did you ever speak to the vice president who was your border czar? No, I never got to speak to her. This was a terrible thing that was going on. This was a con job. We also need a massive increase in the number of detention beds and funding for all border security infrastructure and barriers, including the completion of the border wall. We did 500 miles of wall, and that's one of the reasons we had the lowest number. You remember the famous chart that I looked to my right, bring down the chart, and I looked to my right, something went right by he. But that chart, I don't know if they have it now, frankly. I didn't tell them to bring it. But they're very competent people. They might. If you have the chart, put it up. If you don't, that's okay too. But that chart showed that we had the lowest number of illegals coming into our country in history. And I love the chart. Even if it didn't show that, I would have loved that chart. Because that chart, I wouldn't be here right now without that particular chart. But it was pretty amazing. It was really amazing. And we did a great job. We had the week I left office, we had the lowest number of illegal immigrants coming into our country that we ever had. Simultaneously, we must make a record investment in interior enforcement, including deportation flights and aircraft, as well as funding for our new task force to eradicate the presence of foreign gangs. We have some of the worst foreign gangs. It's not even believable. And criminal networks that have brought devastating crime to American soil. We're getting them all out. We're getting them all out. I won on that, It's like some people explain it very well. They say, gee whiz, they look at the people. As you know, in Colombia, they agreed with us almost immediately after I got involved. And Marco Rubio and I worked together. He did a great job. And we really did. And Mike Waltz, we have a great group of people. But we were being scolded because we had them in shackles in an airplane. And he said, this is no way to treat people. Now, you got to understand, these are murderers, drug lords, gang members, just the toughest people you've ever met or seen. How would you like to be the pilot of a plane? You got 2 pilots up there, and you got 300 people sitting in a plane. Every one of them either a murderer, a drug lord, a kingpin of some kind, the head of the mob, or a gang member, and you're flying that plane. It's not going to end well. Do you ever see the movie Con Air? That's what, except here's the difference. The people in Con Air were actors. They weren't nearly as tough as these guys. I would say that plane would be gone before it ever left. Those pilots would be gone before it ever left. So they don't want us to shackle them. I don't want to be in that plane. I want to thank every Republican House member for voting to pass the Lake and Riley Act, the first enforcement only bill that's been passed in 3 decades. I met the parents of Lake and they were incredible people. They were just so devastated. I mean, can't even explain to you. You can't say somebody's life is over, but essentially their life is so different, and it can never be the same. She was beautiful. She was great person. But to have a bill of such importance named after her is a great tribute. But what these parents, and you have so many of them, where they've lost a loved one to crime, but to this new form of crime, criminal, illegal aliens, it's massive. The numbers are massive, and you add that to the crime we already had. This shows the potential for additional enforcement bills that will help us crack down on criminal aliens and totally restore the rule of law in our country. I'm also eager to get to work with Congress on the largest package of tax cuts and reforms in American history. We've got to get that done. And we don't want to get hung up on the budget process. We just want, whether it's 1 bill, 2 bills, I don't care. Let these guys, they're going to work it out. They're going to work it out one way or the other. But the bottom line, the end result is going to be the same. We want to have all of those benefits. And we want to keep people's taxes low and actually make them lower. And that's not just rich people. That's everybody. It's, frankly, proportionately the lower scale, much more so than a higher scale. Not only must we permanently extend the Trump tax cuts, You know, if we don't, you're going to have about a 60% tax increase. But I also intend to keep my promises, starting with no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and no tax on overtime. We're working very hard to get them done, and we are. I went to Nevada just this last couple of days. Started off in North Carolina because I didn't want to forget the people of North Carolina were treated so badly by FEMA. And they came to me, they said, "Sir, you're going to California tomorrow." I said, "Well, what about North Carolina?" "Well, we'll do that another time." And I said, "No, we won't. I'm stopping in North Carolina first." And we stopped there. We met great people. Franklin Graham has done a fantastic job. He's done a great job, but others also. And I met people that were devastated. The Democrat Party with FEMA, their FEMA did absolutely nothing. And we have it worked out. Your congressmen are helping very much there. Your 3 Congress people are working very hard on that whole thing, along with Michael Whatley. And Laura wants to be involved too. Laura Trump, she's doing great jobs. She's done a great. Michael and Laura have been unbelievable as the head of the RNC. They've been unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know why I picked Michael? I said, who ran North Carolina? Tell me. Because in the 2016 election, we did so well. And then in 2020, we did great in North Carolina. But others, we watched, ping, ping. What the hell's going on? But with North Carolina, when he had 600 lawyers, 601 lawyers working for him, and they didn't play games in North Carolina, I said, that's the guy I want to run it. And Michael Whatley has done an unbelievable job, and he worked with Laura so well. She comes from that state, from North Carolina. They've done such an incredible job. So thank you very much. I want to just thank you in front of leadership. Incredible. And I really don't want to give him another job, to be honest. That's the most important job. He said, "Sir, I'll go anywhere." I said, "I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to stay where you are. We'll give you plenty of money to get the job done, right? But we don't want to lose you." I mean, he could do anything, actually, but he's a very talented person. There's nothing more important because we have to win in 2 years or we have to win in 4 years. There's nobody better to head it up. So thank you very much, Michael, and really stand up. We're just an incredible job. Really amazing. I wanted to save that for leadership because I say it all the time. People don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but leadership knows what I'm talking about. And it's really incredible. The 2 of you as a team are unbelievable. Our administration will also be working to implement the Make It in America plan that I outlined very successfully in my campaign. You know, I think my campaign, I really focused on the border more than anything else. A lot of people said the biggest thing was inflation and the economy, and then maybe the border was third. I always felt the border was first because I felt that people could really understand that you can't have people pouring in from the prisons all over the world and from mental institutions all over the world and dumped into our country. So I talked about that much more so than I did inflation. I mean, inflation was terrible. It was the worst. I think it was the worst in the history of our country. But you can only talk about it so long. You know, the price of apples doubled. The price of bacon is quadrupled. Everything is a disaster. And you say it, and then what do you do? With this, I could give examples of what they're doing to destroy our country. And I felt it was the strongest thing. You know, it's funny. In 2016, I won on the border. In 2020, we did so well, I couldn't talk about the border. My people would say, "Sir, don't bring up the border. Nobody wants to hear it." I said, "No, I did a great job." It was a horrible border in 2016. But that border was beautiful compared to what we have now. So I didn't talk about it, and we did great. I mean, look, I got millions of more votes in 2020 than I got in 2016. Nobody ever got the most votes of any Republican in history in 2020. But this time I said, let's make it too big to rig. We're going to make it too big to rig, and that's what happened, and they couldn't. They tried, these cheating guys, these cheating people, but they tried, but they gave up. I brought taxes down from 40% to 21%, which everybody said was impossible. And I did it with these people up here and a lot of the people there. A great congressman. I want to name every one of them, but I'd be naming them all night. I'm looking at them. Look at all these people. They're great. They're so great, Russell and you. And every single Virginia. Look at Virginia. She's a killer. Nobody would know she's a killer. But I got all these congressmen. I want to name every one of them, but I got like 100 and something things that people would say, let's get the hell out of here. This is getting very boring, right? But I will tell you, as a group and individually, they're incredible people. Every one of them I like, although every once in a while, if somebody votes against me, I don't like him for a little while. But we like every one of them. And this guy has the ability to get along with everybody, which he has to when you have a majority of really 5. You know, they say 1, but it will be. But right now it's 1. I want to make him sound a little bit. But he has an ability to get along with people, and he's very smart, very tough. But everyone likes him because he's a high-quality person, very religious person, and he's a high-quality person. You know, we have other guys here, and I know that everybody likes them, but they're like, one of them in particular, I love this guy so much. I won't name him because I don't want to embarrass him, but I don't know if he'd be happy or not happy, but he's very, very strong, very, very popular, but he has 36 people that won't vote for him. It's 36. That's not a lot. That's a small percentage. Tom is incredible, but Tom has a couple of people that probably have been beaten badly and beaten up. You beat up some people badly, and it's a little tougher. But he's done an unbelievable job. I've become friendly with him. I didn't really know him. And over the last year or so, I've become friendly. He's incredible. He's an incredible leader. You really are. But you have a couple of people that maybe more than one. Let me put it that way. They all love him. Your wife loves you. That I can tell you. He's got a great... Where are you? Where are you? Stand up, please. Just stand up. Come on. What a great wife and family. It's true. Thank you. She is a great... Look at her. She's very popular, isn't she? Huh? She's great. More than you. You're very popular. And now I'm bringing them down. I'm bringing the taxes down from 21 to 15%, but only if they make their product in America. So if they make their product in America, we're bringing it down. So if you think about it, we took it down from 40 to 15%. But again, you keep 21, but you go down to 15 if you make your product here. We are going to have so many business moving back into our country. And remember, again, the word tariff. We're going to protect our people and our businesses, and we're going to protect our country with tariffs. And you got a little indication of that yesterday with what happened with a very strong country. Colombia is traditionally a very, very strong-willed country. If they don't make their product in America, then very simply they should have to pay a tariff, which will bring in trillions of dollars into our treasury from countries that never paid us 10 cents. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let them destroy our country. In the words of President McKinley, who is the tariff king, the protective system invokes the highest law of nature, that a self-preservation, and that is self-preservation. There is every reason founded in justice why the American producer should in every way be favored against a foreign producer whose products compete with his. This is our natural market. We have made it. We have made it an enormous cost, capital, and exertion. And think of this. And we did that through exertion and brain and muscle and guts and stamina. We preserved it against foreign wars and domestic conflicts at great sacrifice of men and women. The foreign producer has contributed nothing to the growth or development of this country. So if you want to share with the citizens of the United States our home market, then you must pay for the privilege of doing it. In other words, you have to pay for the privilege of coming into our country, taking our jobs, taking our product, destroying our countries. We mentioned North Carolina, the furniture business, what they've done to these great artisans. I used to go down to North Carolina all the time to buy furniture for hotels that I was building. And they had the most incredible artisans. That whole thing was wiped out by China mostly, but others. And just wiped out, but it's going to come back. It's going to come roaring back. It's all going to come roaring back. We're going to put tariffs on outside countries and outside people that really mean us harm. They want to, well, they mean us harm, but they basically want to make their country good. Look at what others do. China's a tremendous tariff maker, and India and Brazil and so many countries. And so we're not going to let that happen any longer, because we're going to put America first. Always put America first. That's what's going to happen. We're going to establish a very fair a very fair system where money is going to come into our coffers and America is going to be very rich again, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's time for the United States to return to the system that made us richer and more powerful than ever before. Do you know the United States in 1870 to 1913, all tariffs, and that was the richest period in the history of the United States, relatively speaking. In other words, relatively. And they set up the Great Tariff Commission of 1887, and this commission had one function: what to do with all the money that we took in. It was so enormous that they had no idea. It was a blue ribbon committee. It was set up 1887, and what to do with all of the money that we had. And again, Teddy Roosevelt was a beneficiary, because when McKinley was killed, he took over this vast sum of money, and he did all of those national parks and all of the other things. And I'm not knocking him, but he was given a vast amount of money, and that was all made through tariffs. We had no income tax. The income tax came in 1913. As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right? Under the American First economic model, as tariffs on other countries go up, taxes on American workers and businesses will come down, and massive numbers of jobs and factories will come home. The job creation will be enormous. In particular, if you look at the automobile sector, I mean, we're just being wiped out. You just take a look at what's happened to that over the years. And the auto workers voted for me. I have an obligation to do what's right, and I'm going to do that. Do you know, in Mexico, they were going to build the largest auto plant anywhere in the world. And it was during the campaign, my most recent campaign. And a very great gentleman, all he does is he builds auto plants. He was building this factory. And I said, how's it going? I said, I want to go around and take a look at one of your factories that you're building. One of the big ones, one of the good ones. I said, okay, are you ready? When are you going to do it? This is 9 months ago. He said, you'll have to go to Mexico. I said, what about the United States? He said, we're putting up a couple, but they're small. He's the biggest guy at doing this. He said, in Mexico, they're building massive automobile factories. I said, you mean they're doing it? And who's the owner of the factories? He said, mostly China. One in particular is massive, and it's built fairly close to the border. So they were going to build cars and send them into the United States for no tax or very little tax, and destroy Detroit, just destroy the rest of it, what's left of it. Because they've already Mexico's taken 32% of our business over 30 years. And the other one is Canada. Canada's taken massive amounts of, they send us millions of cars. We don't need them for that. We want to have the cars made in Detroit or South Carolina or many other locations, whether it's union or not union. But I said to him, so when is this plant going to open? He said, well, we're going to start it in a couple of months, and it'll be open in about 1.5 years. It's the largest plant in the world. I said, I'm not happy with that. And I said in my next speech that I am going to charge them, if it takes 100% or 200%, no car is coming in from Mexico into the United States without a massive tariff. And I said it 3 or 4 times. And what happened is about 2 months later, I see that same gentleman who was in the audience, and I said, I want to see him backstage after I'm finished with the speech. And I met him backstage. I said, John, let me ask you, what happened with that plant? Where is it now? He said, sir, China's canceled it. Why? Because they think you're going to be elected, and they thought you were going to charge big tariffs on the cars coming in, and it doesn't work if you're going to charge. So they canceled the plant, and Detroit now will breathe, and we're going to do just the opposite. We're going to have these companies come in, and they can build that plant if they want, but they have to build it across the line. They have to build it in the United States. Amazing. Amazing. We did so many things, and we weren't even elected yet. That would have been a disaster. If that plant were built, it would have been a disaster. That would have wiped out. That was bigger than most of the factories put together, the auto plants put together. In particular, in the very near future, we're going to be placing tariffs on foreign production of computer chips, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals to return production of these essential goods to the United States of America. They left us and they went to Taiwan, which is about 98% of the chip business, by the way. And we want them to come back. And we don't want to give them billions of dollars like this ridiculous program that Biden has. Give everybody billions of dollars. They already have billions of dollars. They've got nothing but money, Joe. They didn't need money. They needed an incentive. And the incentive is going to be they're not going to want to pay a 25, 50, or even 100% tax. They're going to build their factory with their own money. We don't have to give them money. They're going to come in because it's good for them to come in. They're giving them money. They don't even know what they're going to do with it. I had people tell me, we have no idea. We didn't need money. They don't know if they're probably going to use the money to build in other places, other countries. It's a ridiculous plan, very expensive and ridiculous. The only way you'll get out of this is to build your plant. If you want to stop paying the taxes or the tariffs, you have to build your plant right here in America. That's what's going to happen at record levels. We're going to have more plants built in the next short period of time than anybody ever envisioned before, because the incentive is going to be there, because they have no tariff whatsoever. In fact, they have help from us if they build their plant in America. And we're going to look at pharmaceuticals, drugs. We're going to look at chips, semiconductors, and we're going to look at steel and some other industries. And you're going to see things happening. If I didn't put on the massive steel tariffs, you wouldn't have one steel plant right now in the United States. If I didn't put on the tariffs on washing machines, dryers, and the like, you wouldn't, in Ohio, you would have lost all of those companies that made washing machines and dryers. Jim Jordan is the one that got me started. Was Jim here by any chance? Is Jim here? Where is Jim? Where's Jim? Oh, look at him. Wow. That's not a great seat for a man of such power. Do you know that Jim has he's a great wrestler. He was All-American wrestler 3 times, 128 and 1. That's not a bad record, and that's the way he fights, too. But he has a better record. Undefeated as a wrestler in high school. And I say, how can you do that? Because a freshman can't beat a senior. But he figured out how to beat seniors. So stand up again, Jim. Let's give you a hand as a wrestler. As a wrestler, big hand. As a politician, very good. But Jim, is it true that we went up there, remember we had 25,000 people standing on the streets in this little beautiful town with Whirlpool, right? And they were going to close up their factories because South Korea was dumping washing machines and other things like that. And they were dumping. And we put a 50% tariff and then 75, even 100%. And now they're thriving, right? Without Trump, they would have been closed up. But Jim was the one that got me involved. Are you guys all happy with Jim? Do you like him? Because I like him. I like him, right? We like Jim. What's not to like? He gets on television, he's like a wrestler. He's got this boom, 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 boom. It's very impressive, Jim. Anyway, it's good to see you. I like that guy a lot. I like a lot of the people in the audience a lot. I like the people in this room. We have the same basic philosophy. We have the same thoughts. What's not to like? But I'll also be placing tariffs on steel, aluminum, and copper, and things that we need for our military. We have to bring production back to our country. You know, there was a time when we made 1 ship a day. And now we can't build a ship. We don't know what the hell we're doing. It's all gone to other locations and other lands. And to further return production to the United States, we're going to environmentally free up our rare earth minerals. We have some unbelievable sites. We have some of the best rare earth anywhere in the world, but we're not allowed to use it because the environmentalists got there first. They said, you cannot touch that land. I look at the land. It looks like every other piece of land. What is it? Well, this is very protected. They have no idea what they're doing to our country. They use the environment to stop progress, so we're not going to let that happen. We have Lee Zeldin. I don't know if Lee's here today, but Lee Zeldin is going to be fantastic. He's going to head up the whole environmental. And I said, Lee, if we have we put in for a power plant, and if we don't get the approval, like that you can start within 12 days, 1 day would be even better, but 12 days, 14 days, see what you can do. And Lee's great. Lee knows what's good and he knows what's bad, and he'll be very fair. But we have to get it moving because some of these jobs, like the ones in Louisiana, they were 14, 15 years, they couldn't get their approvals. We can't let that happen. When people come here with massive amounts of money, they want to start, they want to go. And we know what's good and we know what's bad too. And Lee Zeldin's going to do a great job environmentally. As we fix our tax system, we could also cut colossal amounts of government waste, fraud, and abuse, of which there's a lot. But tonight, I restate my pledge from the campaign. I will not sign any bill that cuts even a single penny from Medicare or Social Security for our great seniors. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We'll not touch those benefits in any way, shape, or form. I want to use that because during the campaign, they had these fake ads that Trump is going to cut Social Security. No, they're the ones that are going to cut it because the country's going to go bankrupt under them. And that's why it's going to cut, because they're not going to have a choice. Not that they're saying we're going to cut it, but our country was heading for absolute bankruptcy. Using reconciliation, I also look forward to working with you to make our energy policies permanent and making our historic deregulation efforts a fixture of U.S. law so that no future president, like they did with Anwar. I got Anwar approved. Nobody could do it, including Ronald Reagan in Alaska. It's the largest site, potentially the largest site in the world, larger than Saudi Arabia. And I got it done. Ronald Reagan couldn't get it. Nobody could get it done. They tried, but they couldn't get it done. I got it done. And the first thing they did was end Anwar in Alaska. The biggest, most powerful site maybe anywhere in the world, and we got it done, and we're going to get it done again very quickly. Now, I think I do it with an executive order because they didn't go through Congress. I got it approved through Congress. So I think we get it done fast. But it's going to be, that can supply all of Asia with its location. All of Asia can be supplied by Anwar. So there's so many things, but we don't want to have any future president ever sabotage our economy with out-of-control regulations as the last two Democrat presidents have done. They went crazy. Last week I signed an order revoking Joe Biden's destructive artificial intelligence regulations so that AI companies can once again focus on being the best, not just being the most woke. And today and over the last couple of days, I've been reading about China and some of the companies in China, one in particular, coming up with a faster method of AI and much less expensive method. And that's good because you don't have to spend this much money. I view that as a positive, as an asset. So I really think if it's fact and if it's true, and nobody really knows if it is, but I view that as a positive because you'll be doing that too. So you won't be spending as much and you'll get the same result, hopefully. The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser focused on competing to win because we have the greatest scientists in the world. Even Chinese leadership told me that. They said, you have the most brilliant scientists in the world in Seattle and various places. But Silicon Valley, they said, there's nobody like those people. This is very unusual when you hear a DeepSeek, when you hear somebody come up with something. We always have the ideas. We're always first. So I would say that's a positive. That could be very much a positive development. So instead of spending billions and billions, you'll spend less and you'll come up with hopefully the same solution. Under the Trump administration, we're going to unleash our tech companies and we're going to dominate the future like never before. And finally, we need to work together on a defense bill that once again fully rebuilds our military for our great warriors. We have to have a strong, strong defense. And in a little while, I'll be signing 4 new executive orders. First is that I'm directing our new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, who's going to be great, by the way. Thank you for the support. Thank you very much for the support. You really did support him greatly. I think he's going to be fantastic. I know him very well. I think he's going to be fantastic. He's what we need. To immediately begin the construction of a state-of-the-art Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will be able to protect Americans. You know, we protect other countries, but we don't protect ourselves. And when Ronald Reagan wanted to do it many years ago, luckily we didn't. We didn't have the technology then. It was a concept, but we didn't. And now we have phenomenal technology. You see that with Israel. We're out of 319 rockets. They knocked down just about every one of them. So I think the United States is entitled to that. And everything will be made right here in the USA, 100%. And next, to ensure that we have the most lethal fighting force in the world, we will get transgender ideology the hell out of our military. It's going to be gone. In addition, we will stop our service members from being indoctrinated with radical left ideologies such as critical race theory. We're going to stop it. It's already been stopped. It's already been halted, totally halted. And finally, we will offer full reinstatement to any service member who was expelled from the armed forces due to the COVID vaccine mandate. And we will restore them to their former rank with full pay. And I think we're going to have a lot of people that join. And one thing I'll say, if you looked at our recruitment over the last week or so, 2 weeks, it's through the roof. You know, we were having a lot of people weren't signing. We were having a hard time recruiting people because they were looking at these people that they were supposed to be their leaders, and they weren't happy. They didn't like people that fall going upstairs. If you're going to fall, at least go downstairs from the plane. That triple fall, I used that thing in more ads. I didn't have an ad where I didn't put that in. Just a little quick, 1, 2, 3. Reminded me of Joe Frazier when he went down, right? George Foreman, Joe Frazier. 3 falls in a matter of seconds. I said, can you speed it up a little bit? People are getting tired of it. But no, we have now the best recruitment we've seen in a long time. There's a tremendous number of people wanting to sign up. January 20th, 2025 was a turning point in American history. Starting last week, we're ending years of incompetence, radicalism, and betrayal, and we're ushering in the most exhilarating era of reform and renewal in the 250-year history of our country. And just in conclusion, I just want to say that this has been a very exciting and will be a very exciting new chapter. There's nothing we cannot achieve as long as the Republican Party remains united. I hope you can remain united. And it's one thing I give the Democrats a lot of credit for because, you know, they have lousy policy. I think, frankly, half of them are totally crazy. But they do stick together. They stick together on stuff that nobody can. I mean, how can you want prisons emptied out into our country? They stick together. They stick together on everything. Impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2. They stick together. Although I must tell you, you gave me great support during those 2 problems. Those 2 fake witch hunts, which have now turned out to be totally fake and disgusting. But you gave me tremendous support. But the Republican Party has to stick together. We just can't have people going, you know, 1, 2, 3 votes. And we don't have that luxury. It would be different if we had a 20-point, 30-person majority, but we don't. We have to help leadership. And, you know, you can be assured that you have certain philosophies, that if you're going to have most of the people, almost all of them, voting for something, you're going to be okay. It's not going to be bad. You have to stick together. It's the one thing that I would say we don't get very high marks. Everything is so hard. We always have 2 or 3 or 5 or something, people that just don't want to do it. And you just got to do it. You just got to do it. Make life easy. You just got to do it. So right now we have a very special period because we have the House, we have the Senate, and we have the White House. And we're a team, and we're a really good team. And I appreciate so many times, and like even with Mike, I called 3 or 4 people, and they said, okay, sir, I'll do it. I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote positively. And they're very happy they did now. But when I called, we've gotten such a great response. We just had that happen with Pete Hegseth, and we have it happening with others. But we really appreciate it with the House. The House has been, you know, it's a very difficult situation when you have that small a majority. But in a certain way, it brings you together. It actually can unify more than anybody would ever know. And a victory is sweeter, as they say, because of it. And I think we're going to have a lot of victories, but we have to stick together. We have to work together. We have to fight together. And we're going to win together. We're going to win like never before. We have a chance to win like never before. As long as we stay united, the 119th Congress will be remembered as the most successful and accomplished Republican majority in American history. I believe that. I think we have a chance of doing it. Right?
Huge.
And in January 2027, we will have a larger Republican House, a larger Republican Senate, and our country will be richer, safer, stronger, prouder, greater, freer, and ever before. I really think that we're going to have some big victories coming up, and I'm going to be helping every single one of you. I'm raising a lot of money, and I want to use it for the House, and I want to use it for the Senate. I've raised a lot of money, and, you know, I told my people, we raised $1.7 billion. They raised $2.6 billion. They have the unions with, you know, checkoffs, which is always tough, $10 a month times millions and millions of people. And then we won, and we won by a lot. And they wanted to go out, and they still haven't raised it. They're trying to raise $28 million. They cannot raise 10 cents. It's good to win, I will tell you. It's really good to win, but they can't raise money. But I told my people the morning after. Now, normally, because we have so many donors here and so many people that I love and respect, a lot of great friends of mine. But I told my people, Meredith and Susie, by the way, how good is Susie, the Ice Maiden? Where is the Ice Maiden? She is so great. She is so great. Stand up, Susie. The Ice Maiden, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, look at that. Most powerful woman in the world, they say. Most powerful woman in the world. She's made of ice. She's great. No, you know, when I came to Florida, Florida was a Democrat state, had a Democrat governor. They had one Democrat senator. It was largely a Democrat state. And through various reasons, I ended up with Susie running the campaign, and she was unbelievable. We won it in a landslide. And then the second time, we won it in an even bigger landslide. And when it came time to choosing somebody to run the campaign, the whole campaign, I said, what about Susie from Florida? She never lost. I won every primary. I won every, I didn't lose anything. And it was a Democrat state, and it was a landslide both times. And all of the Republican stuff was almost like it didn't even exist. It was amazing. And I said, what about Susie? Well, sir, you know, a woman has never been in this position before. I said, really? Oh, by the way, we have Kellyanne Conway. She didn't do too badly either, right? She did a great job, 2016. And when it came time to chief of staff, do you know that there has never been a woman chief of staff? But there is now. There is now, right? I didn't know that. I'm so surprised. I'm very surprised. But it came time to running the campaign, and I said, well, I've never had a loss with Susie. She comes from great stock, you know. Pat Summerall is her father. Pat Summerall was a football player, great football player, but a really great announcer, really the voice of the NFL for 27 years or something. He was great, and a leader. He worked with John Madden, and he was able to get John Madden to do things that nobody else could do. They'd say, Pat, John is really difficult. Now, you know, John was a difficult guy, but he got big ratings and he was good. And Pat would go up, come on, John, let's get this done. Come on. I know you don't like the heads of the company. Just they're paying you a lot of money. Come on, John, let's get it done. And he'd go and do it. And this went on for, 27 years, right? But he was a leader, her father. And, you know, this is somebody that has the gene. I'll tell you, she's great. And she's done a fantastic job. So she was so good with the campaign. I said, let's let her do the campaign. And it was flawless. And again, I said before, we had her win a lot of votes because it's crooked as hell. And I hope you can go to voter ID and same-day voting and paper ballots and all of those things, because ultimately we'll never lose a race if you do that. I'm telling you, you'll never lose a race. And I hope you can get that. And that's said to the governors mostly, but this, you know, you people have a lot of power over it. But Susie ran the race, and we did phenomenally, and then we just made her the chief of staff, and she's doing great. They say it was the greatest opening week in presidential history, and I think, you know, it couldn't be a hell of a lot better. Even CNN is saying, this guy is amazing. I couldn't believe it. I said, did CNN really say that? Because nobody watches, so nobody was able to confirm it. But it was pretty amazing. Oh, the camera just went off. It's always tough. Usually you get them by surprise. But I just want to thank everybody. We're going to make this tremendously successful. We're going to have, I believe, we're going to have one of the greatest 4 years in the history of our country. We're going to turn it around quickly, and then we're going to go on and we're going to progress like nobody ever thought possible. And I want to thank these great 4 people, because they really are leaders and they're phenomenal people. And I want to thank all of my friends in the audience, many of whom are congressmen and congresswomen and people that have just tremendous talent. Every single one of you, I know every one of you, and you have tremendous talent. And if we stick and if we fight together, there's nobody can stop us. We're going to have, because they have bad policy. Their policy is so bad. Nobody could win with this policy. Nobody. And we have the best policy. And again, as they say, and we say, and I've been saying for a long time, we're the party of common sense. And we're the party that's going to have the best 4 years ever. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, hooligans, there you have it. President Trump live. I thought he was hugging on Mike Pence for a second there. About frozen place. I could tell what was going on. Hitting us with the Trump dance. A fantastic live as usual. Now, as far as I know, this is the only time we're going to see President Trump live today. It seems like every day he goes live 4, 5, 6, 12 times. It's hard to keep up with him. But like I said, I think this is the final live of the day for President Trump. I'm sure he's still got more work to do, but this is the last we're going to see of him for the day. We do still have 2 news videos. Yes, 2 news videos, and then our 2 funny videos of the day. Coming up next, we're going to hang out with President Trump till he is no longer visible, just to make sure that he makes it off the stage safely and all of that. And then, of course, we will get into things. Looks like he is good to go. Secret Service backing out of the area now. All right. Like I said, we got 2 more little bouts of the news here. Then we're going to get into the fun stuff. This next video is titled Trump to Sign Orders Including Shapeshifter Military Ban. Now, we just heard a little bit of this. President Trump was obviously talking about this during the speech. But let's get some details. This is going to hurt some feelings, and I just simply don't care. Either way, like I said, this is Trump to sign orders including shapeshifter military ban. Hit the thumbs up over on Rumble or on CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Well, new this morning, President Trump is expected to sign 3 executive orders today to reshape the military. That includes a new directive to place a ban on transgender service members. Trump banned transgender people from serving in the military when he was president in 2017, but then President Joe Biden repealed the ban in 2021. Also, the president will reinstate and give back pay to service members who were discharged for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine. And finally, today's executive orders will gut the military's diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Well, this all comes after Trump's nominee for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was sworn in Saturday. Hegseth has long said he plans to make major cultural changes to the military, including ending DEI and removing what he calls woke service members.
Okay, so I forgot until I started the video that I couldn't show you the actual video because it shows people using firearms. And according to Twitch and YouTube's community guidelines, I cannot show people using firearms on the live. Okay, on the live. The heavy emphasis on the live. This is the part where everyone goes, well, what about so-and-so ranch? And what about these channels that show guns? That shit's not live. Okay, so it's not the same community guidelines. Either way, hopefully you were able to hear all of that. President Trump signing out shapeshifters from the military. Like we've been saying all day, we don't need shapeshifters in the military. It's supposed to be the best of the best, not people who don't know if a wiener makes you a man or a woman. So let's go ahead and get those confused people right out of the military. Sounds good to me. We're going to get right into this last little bit of the news before reading in the chat. This last one's titled, Trump reinstates service members discharged over the COVID vaccine, saying that they can have the opportunity to go back to the military, keep the same rank that they had, as well as get back pay since they were unconstitutionally kicked out of the military. So let's go ahead and get into this. But like I said, hit the thumbs up over on Rumble or on the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
All right, straight to a Fox News alert. President Donald Trump delivering on yet another campaign promise, officially reinstating thousands of U.S. service members discharged for not getting the COVID vaccine, and they get full back pay.
Madeline Rivera is in Washington with all the details for us. Hey, Maddie. Hi, guys. Good morning. The White House says this redress is long overdue, calling the dismissal of military members who refused the COVID vaccine wrongful. Like you mentioned, Brian, this new executive order given exclusively to our Peter Doocy this morning directs Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to reinstate all members of the military who were discharged for rejecting the COVID vaccine, and they will receive full pay and benefits. President Trump mentioned this pledge just a week ago in his inauguration speech. The COVID vaccine was required for U.S. military service members for 15 months from August 2021 to January 2023. At the time, former Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby called the mandate to get the vaccines a readiness issue. 8,400 service members were discharged for not getting the COVID vaccine. In January 2023, former Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin rescinded the mandate. It was the first time in U.S. history the military reversed a vaccine mandate. But only dozens of those who were discharged chose to return to the military. Republicans have argued the mandate hurt the military's recruiting and retention capabilities. Last year, Austin touted the military's retention rates and stated nearly all active and reserve components of the military met their recruiting targets for the 2024 fiscal year. But the military had acknowledged it had a recruiting crisis just the year before, and the mandate was a political headache for the Biden administration, with some troops suing, calling the order illegal. Later this hour, Florida Congressman Brian Mast will be joining Fox and Friends, and he will have reaction to this new executive order from President Trump. Lauren, Steve Ainsley, and Brian.
Thank you very much, Patty. I'm sure Brian Mast is...
All right, like I said, President Trump giving this opportunity to military members to be able to go back to work doing their job with the same rank, as far as I know, the same pay, and then they'll get back pay for being kicked out of the military. Like I said, that is the last little bit of the news I had for you hooligans today. We got 2 funny videos coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these orders that President Trump is giving out for the opportunity for the military people going back with back pay and all of that, as well as signing shapeshifters out of the military, as well as how you hooligans feel about President Trump being live just moments ago. Like I said, after we read through the chat, we got the fun stuff coming up next. Holy Russell, I'm not reading that out loud, but yeah. Russell, it was better under Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Yeah, now it's in your face. It's just like the pride flags and all that, just sticking it down your throat. Like, nah, don't ask, don't tell. That's fine. I don't care how gay you are, as long as you can act like a normal person. David, very aggravating situation that I'm glad that Trump is fixing. Absolutely. It's been a busy 2 weeks for President Trump. For the attacks on our military used to be one of the most feared in the world. Yeah, and now they dress up like dogs and everything else. It's nonsense. Completely unnecessary. Appeal to heaven, that's awesome. Give them their pure blood backed their money. Yeah. President Trump promised that would happen, and now he's making it a reality. Pumpkin, wow, that's great with back pay. Yeah, well, and I think that they should be able to sue. Like for the nurses and the first responders, the firefighters, and the police officers that were put under the same scrutiny, saying that they had to leave unless they didn't take the jab and all that kind of stuff. I don't think they'll ever be given back pay or allowed to come back or anything like that, but I think that they should be able to open lawsuits against discrimination. I mean, it's like saying if I go get crowns, like say I go get gold teeth. Well, if you don't go get gold teeth, you can't work here. Well, that's fucking discrimination. You can't do that. You can't force somebody to go into that shit. Even worse, put something in your body that's permanent. You can't get it out of your body. So it's wrong, and they should be able to sue over that stuff. But, you know, you could take it all the way back to the people that handed you the jab. You should be able to sue those people if you have any adverse effects from taking that nonsense. But we all know how that goes. Yeah, Metal Mouth, happy freedom to you. I feel the same way. Brian, Jeff wouldn't sell for gold. He'd get platinum. Yeah. Well, I think they got to put palladium in your mouth. I don't think they could put platinum in your mouth because I don't think it's good for dental work and stuff like that. You need to be tough, but not so tough it breaks your teeth. When you see rappers talking about platinum teeth, they actually got palladium. Yeah, Sam, one day it's going to be like that. It's just the way it's going to be. Metal Mouth, I think Jeff's end goal is world domination. No, I don't want to dominate the world, but I would love to make the world a smarter place. I am tired. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Really tired dealing with dumb people. Big time. I just want people to make good choices, be aware of what is going on around them, and have a little grace for each other. I don't want to dominate the world. Not at all. What's up, Wiggly Tough? Happy freedom. U-Town, is this the season to expose the treason? It's up to President Trump. He's holding all the cards right now. You know, and he needs to release those Epstein files and all that other stuff. It's up to him. What's up, Steve S? Happy freedom to you. Crystal Blue. Who needs a confused soldier? I got my doctor back. She had left due to the jab that she wouldn't take. Yeah, Crystal Blue. Well, I'm glad that things are getting straightened out. I'm so tired of everybody playing pretend all the damn time, enabling the mentally ill, and oh, they're so stunning and brave. Like, what are you talking about? It's a dude in a dress beating on women in sports. Like, what are you talking about? I'm so tired of the nonsense. I'm glad that things are getting straightened out. What's up, EFO? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Crystal Clear? Happy freedom to you. Oh, I try Hooligans Island. Happy freedom to you. Brian C., are they waiting to release the JFK files? Because some of those people during those times are still alive. Sort of. They are delegating whether or not the information in those files are too sensitive to release to the public. They don't really describe why they would be too sensitive. Maybe because the people in the files could be still alive, but there is a hold on it. The files aren't released yet, despite what social media might be trying to tell you. Of course, there's people out there trying to say, oh, we got all the files and blah, blah, this is what it says. But no, the stuff's not released yet. They're trying to prevent it from being released. They're making up a bunch of excuses. Nothing that sounds legitimate at this point. Delay. That's kind of where we are right now. As soon as they release it and stuff, you know, we'll be covering it. Now, I don't think that we'll have an opportunity to go through the files on the live. I don't think we'll be doing all that. But when it gets released, we'll raise awareness to it, and all of you hooligans will have the ability to go look it up yourself and, you know, and indulge in the declassified documents and all of that. But at this point, they're just trying to delay it. That's all I've been hearing. Mo Freedom, happy freedom to you. Seems to me Dr. Fauci should be sued. Yeah, he should be, well, more than that. He needs to be taken to court and stuff for the gain of function. He needs to be held accountable for that, for causing gain of function. He gave it the ability to be transferred to people, and so he should be held accountable for that shit. But yeah, he should also be sued for his mandates that he put out. The evidence later on came out, said that, you know, he didn't even believe in the suggestions that he was given to the public, you know, wearing 16 compliance cloths and 6 feet and wrap yourself in plastic and hope you can breathe through it and all that stupid shit. He should be susceptible to lawsuits because of that. Rodney, happy freedom to you. George Carlin said people aren't dumb. They're really dumb. Yeah, Rodney. Well, he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. Patriot operator. I mean, I guess you could be injecting heroin and say the same speech, but it's not going to make you a real man, like you're saying in the chat. I'm glad you love your jab so much. I hope you got all the boosters. It's like having all the Pokemon badges, you know. I know that you're trying to catch them all, so I hope you do. JG, crimes against humanity, absolutely, absolutely. Hair Juicer, there's a date now, February 7th. So what is that, like 2 weeks? It's not this Friday, but next Friday. Thank you for letting me know, Hair Juicer. Hair Juicer Pfizer. So what if a few thousand athletes died? We figured out giant tits. Yeah, Hair Juicer, that's basically how they're walking at this point. Sam, he made sure that he had funds for gain of function and then lied about it. Yep. Yeah, he should absolutely be held accountable for that. 10-man MLK files are to be shown to his family first before public. I think that stuff will come out. I want to say President Trump had an event where he had a family member from MLK either on the stage or on a Zoom call or something like that, and they seem to be pretty in favor of President Trump. Snugs, Fauci should be arrested in prison for life. Yeah, I think so too. Trapper, thank you so much for that $1 donation over on Rumble. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. It says, who is James Files? JFK conspiracy. I don't know. I don't know anything about this stuff. I just know the video. Same video everybody else has seen. What's up, Sage Pup? Happy freedom to you. Wiggly Tough. Whoa, you cool down, bro. Never diss my fellow Pokemon. No, I wasn't dissing Pokemon. I was just saying I know what it's like to need to catch them all. I'm a bit of a Pokemon trainer myself, Wiggly Tough. About to hit level 40 on Pogo. I know a thing or two. Hooligans Island, tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. Every day is Taco Tuesday around here. What's up, good buddy? Happy freedom to you. Good buddy. Oh, he's just a troll. Cheers, good buddy. Yeah, Jay Spray, that's what I'd like to say out loud. I can't, but yeah, that's, yeah. Right there with you. Pumpkin, Fauci lied to us many times. Yeah. From the White House. He didn't just lie to us. He lied to us from the White House, where they're supposed to be fully credible, and you can believe every word they drop at the White House. That's how this is supposed to go. That's how it's supposed to go. That's not how it went. MU, that's why I paid Biden for a pardon? Yeah. I mean, there's no other reason to pardon Fauci if it wasn't related to that. Hickey James, I don't know if you tried to post a link or what, but it didn't land. There's no links in the chat. Oh, I see, good buddy. I don't know why you guys don't have uniform names. I've been the Great Jeff Mac on all platforms forever. Since MySpace. You guys all got 15 usernames and stuff. I don't know how you keep track of it. Muskie Boss, they gave him awards. Yeah. Well, the Biden administration, they were giving dudes in dresses awards as Woman of the Year. So, I mean, they were giving everybody an award. I don't know if they got that kind of logic from Oprah or what. Like, you get an award, and you get an award, and you get an award, and you're sitting there watching, and you're like, everybody on stage is a piece of shit. Why are they all getting awards? They're being awarded for being a piece of shit. I guess that's all I can assume. Either way, we got the fun stuff coming up next. But first, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use that Linktree link in the description in order to make donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. This first one's titled, As Americans, We Do As We Please. Now I can't remember what these videos are. That's always the fun part at the end of the live. I'm always excited to see the funny video of the day because I can't remember through the whole damn thing. Either way, once again, this is titled, As Americans, We Do As We Please.
You win? You have a problem with that? You know what you should do? You should sanction me. Sanction me with your army. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have an army. I guess that means you need to shut the up. That's what I do if I didn't have no army. I would shut up. Shut the
Yeah. That's how we get down around here. Anyways, let's get to the official funny video of the day. Let me see here. Get this pulled up really quick. Is it this? Oh, yeah, I think it is this. Pretty sure. All right, this one is titled, Not Tired of Winning Yet. Yes. President Trump said we would be tired of winning, but I am not quite tired yet. We'll give it time. Keep letting that winning happen. We'll let them know when we get tired. Oh, here we go. Anyways, that is all the coffee I had for you hooligans today. I'm gonna drop this Linktree link in all of the chats really quick. We're gonna read through, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. These links dropped. Come on, thing. It's been dry over on X. I don't know what's going on with that. Either way, there is the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you would like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. Oh, thank you for reminding me, Josh1776. We're going to open it here in just a moment. If you hooligans are feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You'll have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. Well, you will also have access to the forums, which is to encourage open discussion. You'll have access to the arcade, which is full of games that are a ton of fun. And you will also have access to our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats that gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. jeffmaclive.com is the place to be and the home of the hooligans. So definitely go get yourself a membership. And as Josh just reminded me, we are going to do an unboxing really quick. I almost forgot. Oh. Then we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up. Make sure I'm not showing any addresses or anything. I have no idea what's in here. It's kind of the point, I suppose. What is this? Hold on a second. Let me take a gander. From Josh1776. What is this? Celebrate 12 days of chapstick. What a badass. Holy. I love that. Chapsticking it up. I'm actually super excited about this. Thank you so much, Josh1776. Let me see. I think we got something else in here, too. We got some paper for Klaus Daniels. Oh, give Klaus a box to play in. I'm a nice daddy hooligan like that. This is badass. Look at this. Bam. Orange Eagle version of the Yeti. Thank you so much, Josh1776. You're a badass. Thank you so much. Holy, super excited. I've never had a Yeti before. That's way better than a Stanley. No, now everybody's going to be mad. I don't care, though. Either way, reading through really quick. And we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up. Larry, yeah. I mean, the punishment needs to fit the crime. Russell, that's how FedEx delivers packages. What's up, Newton? Happy freedom to you. I ain't seen you in a while. Wayward Yeti is great. See, I've never had a Yeti before, but I've always heard good things. Thank you, Pumpkin. You're the bestest. Thank you, MU. Too old to care in my eyes. Fauci's another Hitler. Deserves the same hatred. I feel the same way. Too old to care. I don't think he's quite the same as Hitler, but I think that he should be, what do they say, infamous. He's infamous like Hitler. Did terrible things. Everybody knows it. He should be held accountable. Lisa, the chapstick rules. I know, I'm so excited to open that up. And play the game the way it's supposed to be. 12 days of chapstick. Well, man, we should run that on the live too. Let me see what it's all entail. We might have 12 days where we're going to crack open chapstick. And we'll figure out which each day is serving up. We'll do it all together. Hooligans Island, Yeti's better than a Wesco cup. He ain't wrong. What's up, John W? Happy freedom to you. Mo Freedom, I'm tired of winning. No. Can't be tired of winning. We just started. What's up, Cruz? Happy freedom to you. Steve S. Yeti is expensive, but I have a Yeti and it will keep my coffee hot for like 4 hours. That's awesome. I'm super excited about it. Hey, thank you for being here. Appeal to Heaven. All right. Well, I think we are good to go. It's that time once again, hooligans. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes. All right, we're going to beat the beats rolling. I don't know what it sounded like I was going to say. Pff, holy. Goodness. Beats on, beats off. Okay. So anyways, we're going to read through the chat one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. And like I said, we're going to be wrapping this up, but we'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Josh 1776. Now it's time for steak dinner. Oh man, that sounds fantastic. Thank you, Too Old to Care. That's right, Nana. Play ball. Thank you for being here, Lisa. Hooligans Island Surf and Turf. I don't even know what that is. I hear people saying it all the time, but I don't actually know what it is. Oh, sorry, Mo Freedom. I can't read, so yeah, these things happen. Tired of whining, not winning. That makes way more sense. Thank you for correcting Mo Freedom. Thank you, Cassie J. Thank you, J Spray. Appreciate you, Russell. Thank you, Muskie Boss. I'll be cautious, Newton. Thank you for being here with us. What's up, Noad? Yeah, drive to Chattanooga. I ain't heard of Chattanooga in a long time. My grandpa used to drive by there all the time. Hope you're being safe out there. And I appreciate you sliding through and hanging out with us. Thank you, High Plains Drifter. Thank you, Brian. Appeal to Heaven. Oh, it's fish and steak, surf and turf. Why do they call steak turf? Because cows eat grass? Is that how it goes? It sounds racist. Can we still do that? I know Trump's president. Can we still cry about racism, or are we all done about that? Thank you, U-Town. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Gloria. Happy freedom to you. Yes. Well, the wish list is around all the time, but yeah, I am going to be adding stuff for Klaus's birthday. Klaus's birthday is February 7th, which I think, weren't we just talking about February 7th? Yeah. So not this Friday, but next Friday is Klaus's birthday. And I'm glad you reminded me, because I should have been raising a little awareness on this. Holy. There should be some Klaus stuff on the list, I think. I forgot about the Klaus socks. That's funny. Well, it's very minimal at this time. I'm going to add a bunch of stuff to the Amazon wish list for Klaus Daniels. Like I said, not this Friday, but next Friday is Klaus's birthday. And like I said, tonight, I'm going to add a whole bunch of stuff to the wish list. That way, if you guys want to send stuff to Klaus Daniels, you'll be able to. Tomorrow, I'll try and raise some awareness to it. Thank you for reminding me, Gloria. Teasel is beef day. Mm-hmm. David, does he do catnip? Oh, yes. He loves catnip. And if you guys have anything in mind that you would like to send Klaus and you want it to be on the wish list, go ahead and send me an email or DM me or something with the Amazon link, and I'll add it to the wish list. That way we don't have to do guessing and waiting and stuff. So if you have suggestions, go ahead and send me the Amazon link, and I'll add it right to the wish list. Brian, because it sounds better than water and land. Yeah, I suppose. Sage Pup, a catnip birthday cake. He deserves it. He's a good boy. Noon, a puppy okay? I mean, I don't know if Klaus Daniels needs a puppy. You know, he's going to be a 3-year-old Klaus. And I know he's grown and stuff now, but I don't think he's ready for a puppy. We'll get it figured out. All right, hooligans. It looks like we're good to go. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Like I said, we will be live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Again, this is the time where I always feel like I'm forgetting something. I think we checked all the boxes. We did the unboxing. I think we're all good to go here. I hope you hooligans have a fantastic night. Thank you guys for being here with me today, covering the news and hanging out with President Trump. I really appreciate all of you guys. Have a fantastic night. Go eat some good food. Stay safe because the crazies are still out there and the deportations aren't done yet. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.